mute that shit.
If I want to say something that they can't hear on the stream, I'll mute it.
Oh.
This is a joke.
Well, not.
Yeah. My headphones escaped me.
Why is my add-on for Twitch not working? It's on. Weird.
What is our hook today? Do we know?
No idea.
Ooh.
Fighting an angel.
Yeah, as per usual.
Do I have a soon token all made up with eyes?
With eyes? What do you mean?
Eyes, like, so you can actually fucking see.
Oh, I don't know. I assume so.
Yeah, but is it actually set to... No, when I drag the soon token off, it doesn't have HP or AC or anything like that. There's not a default one set. I'll fix that right quick. HP, and then they don't do AC right, so you'll just have to insert the blue thing on your own.
Oh.
But I'll do literally everything else on the token. And then I will set it as your default token.
TY. We're on another water island, I see.
Mess up your cameras here for just a second. I need to refresh.
Oh, that's so nice.
Technical difficulties. I shouldn't do.
Technical difficulties. Hello.
Okay, I should be good now.
Oh! What was it? Oh, that was fucking, yeah, Tosai guy. Thank you. It always blows my brains out when I hear that sound for the first time.
That ding.
Rocks my world.
I have this odd compulsion bit here on channels.
I mean, hey, that's probably why they have the whole bit leader mechanic. They know it'll get them more money.
100%. Thing that cost me like $100 a month. Oh.
Yeah, I'm sure they did the analysis and were like, hey, you can get this much more money a month.
Yeah, I gotta stop. I gotta put a little note. What are they called? Little yellow pieces of paper with the blue on them.
You are lagging, Finn.
Who, me?
Yes.
A little bit.
In what sense?
The audio clipped
skipping.
slightly at the beginning.
Yeah, your voice is skipping.
I don't hear it that much, but
I hear it quite a bit.
I'm starting to wonder if it's a PRN, but Pat has an even worse time on Discord.
Let's try something. How's that?
You sound fine now.
Oh, weird.
Better too.
All I did was refresh.
I don't know.
Look better too. I look like death today.
Are you gonna tweet Lee?
I did not. Oh fuck! Did I not tweet? Thank you.
Oh, did you? I don't know.
I literally don't even. I think I did one like we're about to be doing it in 10 minutes, but I'll tweet one like a now live.
Okay, I was gonna retweet it,
Hell
even though I have
yeah.
like no followers, but you know.
So pale today.
What?
It's like, can you guess who the Canadian is?
Oh, is that a fucking Tim Hortons cup?
It's a Tim Hortons cup.
You might as well be polite and talk like your tongue is already frozen as well. Just complete the whole set.
Hey guys, sorry I'm late.
Hey, it's all good. To quote that one video. Hey, Queen. No,
Hey.
where Michelle Obama is just like being nice.
Hey, girl.
Oh. What? Oh.
Oh.
What?
Why is it showing that one? Why? Why are all the frames empty? Why are all the frames empty?
Oh no!
Fuck.
Is your program in front of them?
No. And that's not, the frame is showing, but okay.
Yay!
What we're gonna do is we're not gonna freak out. We're just gonna go. We're gonna look at.
Deal with the problem.
Yeah, we're just gonna be very reasonable. We're gonna go to display capture 2, and we're gonna ask display capture 2. Hey, display capture 2, how you been feeling lately? Okay, it is display 2. Here's display. So you can see that display. And holy shit. I don't think it's getting anything from my second monitor.
No. That's something on the. Oh, we had it for a second there. On the stream.
So,
You want to maybe restart the program?
Oh, hey, look, we're playing in New York tonight.
That's also what I thought, but I didn't want to say anything.
alright, you cheeky. Also, wait, no, like we're 50% Canadian right now.
We are 50% Canadian.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, fine. And, what's your port city? Quebec?
Fair.
Vancouver?
Like all of them.
Hey, wait, they're coming through. What happened? What the fuck?
I don't know what you do.
That's a Leland. That's a Pat face.
That's my token. Pat face slightly ajar though, but
I mean, you know.
no, it looks good on the main one. On like the big one.
Yeah, all 12 side's a little bit offset. I'm just a little smidgen on 12 side, and I think we're good to go.
Heck yeah.
We might
I'll
want-
much better setup once I move.
Wow, we're starting only 10 minutes late or something?
Yeah,
Yeah, impossible.
we're at risk of becoming vaguely professional. I
I was literally just gonna say. Okay, we gotta slow our roll here.
That is dangerous. Yeah, we gotta slow our
Yeah, we don't want to say anything regret it.
We don't have standards here or something cheesy.
Yeah, okay, guys, look what I bought.
What did you buy?
Oh, how to become a fucking weeb master?
Wow,
Awesome.
let's go. Yo, Pat, you want to design my next character?
This girl is one step further to becoming a hentai artist.
Yes.
Yeah, for real though, I was wanting to do a more anime style for my game Red Knight. So
Yes.
Oh.
yeah,
Hit me up.
yeah, for those who don't know, Pat is our art slave. We keep her locked in a basement. I know it looks like there's art in the basement. That's just to for legal purposes. So when they don't come and take her away. But yeah, she's our art slave, and she does lots of the beautiful art that you'll be seeing tonight and on other nights. And there's also
Like Red Knights.
how the fuck did I not realize I was setting that up?
Haha.
Little exclamation mark. Art isn't set up yet, but links is. There's everyone.
Except for Discord.
The Discord link. Ah, yeah, you're right.
I keep telling you.
I really thought. I wonder if there's a character limit and it doesn't stop you from putting too much. Because I really thought I put the Discord link in there, and maybe it's the last one gets cut off. Anyway,
I would just put it in, except Nightbot. It's like no links.
Yeah, I really need to go punish Nightbot for being silly. And you know what? I'm about to risk it all. Hidden use copy button. Excellent.
Risk it for the biscuit.
Thank you, streamer mode, for protecting me. Generate a new link, copied, and there's the Discord link. Of course, there's no one watching right now, but whatever. So we begin as we.
Yeah, we'll edit this part out in post.
Yeah. When we do it live, this won't happen. Yeah, this is a dry run. It's a quick test take. You know, practice. Here we are.
I like it. Still shows me as a sea serpent.
Oh, right, because you uploaded your thingy thing on the thingy thing.
Yes, I did.
So, here we are. We start as we begin. We begin as we mean to go on with technical difficulties, and you know, downtroddenness, and oh, what's that? What's that sound you hear?
Oh no, what's that?
It's
I just have like the
The love sound? Or this is the love train?
fuck. I'm really trying to add a fucking rain sound right now, but it just yeah, okay.
Is it not working?
No, I don't want to add a tag. I want to add it to the fucking game.
I blame old Greg.
You hear the sound of rain, because it's raining heavily. You have arrived in the city of Carginium. It is a prosperous port city just off the coast of a jagged peninsula, built up on an old swampy island. Yes, a city of canals and propriety. It is broadly divided between the west end, the east end, and the north end, with a series of prettyish idyllic islands to the south, sometimes called the south end, which is not accessible by bridge, unlike the rest of the islands. You have to have a boat to get there, so you must be of some means to keep the dirty pros out.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you'll soon find that keeping the dirty pros out has become a bit less of a concern because the city is almost empty. Everyone can roll me a history check if you'd like.
Mm-hmm. That's pretty significant fact.
Well, I don't know that. I mean, I guess people just wanted to leave.
So you've been summoned here by the Office of the Chief Inspector. He wants to hire you. He's offering 12,000. He says that even though they don't have any visual confirmations, the evidence is staggeringly in favor of angel attacks. Although they do have some unique characteristics. The contract is 12,000. There are 3 of you because I think Beak is off getting drunk somewhere. And yeah, so that's a lot of money split 3 ways.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
Good stuff, Brett.
Maybe split.
you find yourself in front of the 12th Street, Carnegie Way, where you see the little sign that says 12th Carnegie Place, blah blah blah, and a little shield and with a flintlock pistol and a rapier crossed over them, and you see a guard outside standing stock still in the rain, and he just sort of throws you a salute silently. The door does not seem locked.
I'll just let myself in.
Yep, with ourselves in.
You ascend about a half flight worth of stairs, and you come out into the office. After a descent to another stairway inside the building, and people stand up as you enter, and they're like, must have. And the man steps forward and introduces himself and says, "Hello, I'm Chief Inspector Kagru. I take it you, he picks up a copy of the contract you're here on. Saw the advertisement?"
We did.
Indeed.
As Aura perks up, he's like, "Oh, well, I suppose it shouldn't matter either way now. By the way, Aura, with a 12, you think that there was a plague here. You think it hollowed out the population. But you don't quite know the nature of the plague, but he's just like, if Madam is interested in precautions, however, the coroner should have masks available." And he's like, so, moving right along. Yes. We have some... Here is the latest report. He picks up the paper, just hands it to the closest Crownbreaker, which is soon.
Okay,
You see a long sheaf of flowing paper in tight handwriting. It has several dated entries. They all seem to relate to corpses, all of which were found decapitated.
Huh.
Several of them involve piles of ash, and also strangely burned items, including stone and other things that shouldn't be able to burn.
Let me see. As a Crownbreaker, does this definitely look like an angel attack to me? Like
That definitely sounds like radiant damage.
Okay.
The weird thing is all the decapitations.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is there perhaps an angel that we know
Well,
of that particularly enjoys decapitating?
One moment. In all the reports, about halfway down, it begins attributing all of the attacks to a group of people called the Hatchet Boys. And Inspector Kagru says, "So as you can see, there's a few lads causing trouble around here, by which I mean committing axe murders. The Hatchet Boys. They're an East End group that used to move in the spice trade. Now, they've gotten other interests. Apparently mass murder of whoever's left." He kind of rubs his chin and says, "We've got all the evidence over there." Jerks his thumb over here. "Doors unlocked and open. Take a look at whatever's in there. All of it's relevant to this case right now, as far as I'm concerned. Crime's way down, other than squatting and looting. But, to be frank, we've started ignoring it."
What exactly happened here?
By the way, Edwin, when you walk over to this doorway, you see a series of stone slabs and a furnace. And a friendly figure pops up his mask and around the corner to look at this. "Ah, I see the Crownbreakers are here. How good to see you." And upon Aura asking a question, Inspector Kagru kind of launches and he's like, "Oh, you don't
By the way,
know."
the investigation was for the items, not necessarily the conversations, but continue.
Oh, okay. So you want to go look at the shit in the room?
Yeah, but she does want to know what happened here first. So.
He's like, "Well, I'm not a doctor, but..." Kind of looks around and he's like, "You don't know."
We're not
Of
from
course we
around.
don't. Get on with it.
He's like, "All the women in the city got sick. Some of the men too. Yes. So
It's like a really serious look on his face. He's like, what a shame.
It seemed to be able to spread to men as well, but in a more limited capacity.
Okay, I don't care then.
The south side was safe. They pretty quickly quarantined the rich women, but the working women living in East End weren't quite so lucky. It could spread on anyone, but tended to only kill the women. I mean, everyone took their families and ran if they could to the mainland. Once a month, there's a very low tide, and you can cross a land bridge. It's dangerous. The moon isn't out, but when the plague got severe enough, everyone ran, and the mainland tried to set up a quarantine, and the people who didn't get across mostly drowned. Aside from that, it burnt itself out. Coroner here did what he could, but I mean, the hospital wasn't ready. Anyway, that was 6 months ago now, and it's run its course. The coroner peeks his head and says, "I have not found a living specimen of the contagion in 2 months. So I believe you should be safe. However, if you show any signs of developing buboes, do come by. I have become quite adroit at lancing them." And he takes out a blue glowing pin that seems to be etched with impossibly fine and intricate runes. And he has a set of them, and they look like they're big ass sewing needles, but it looks like they have that sort of like dull, faded brownish color of dried blood on them.
Ooh.
But so what if we develop what? What was he saying?
He says, well, you're not too likely to develop them, but if your female friend develops any buboes, great pustules of pus and blood that bulge forth from the flesh.
Yeah, that sounds gross.
Yes, Certainly. He pulls out, he's got like an extra, like, it's a straight up plague doctor mask. So you look like you're like a witch doctor, plague doctor. And he's like, "I haven't found a specimen in over 2 months that was alive, so you should be safe." And he's basically just like, "But safety never hurts. I would caution Madam against exhuming the dead, however. I don't mean to presume about what goes on in your line of work, but if it should become necessary to complete your mission, just know that there have been instances of it gestating in the ground, capable of resuscitation on contact with oxygen. So we took to burning the bodies. It nullified the contagion. But if any of those women or some of the men infected were buried and you were to exhume them..."
Yeah, I'm gonna stay away from corpses. Got it.
Indeed. He gives a nod and hands you the mask. And he's like, "Well, I'll be here if you have any further questions. And if you find any bodies, do let the constables know. I'll have the wheelbarrow boys come around and pop them in the furnace." And with a nod,
I have 2 questions.
Oh, he's like, "Yes?"
One, any one of those masks.
He's like, "Oh, certainly. The rest of the deputy coroners have all hung up their masks. Budget cuts. Not a lot of taxes getting collected around here these days. The rent's gone down. But they're not using them, so why not lend them to you? Do please come by and give them back." But
2,
yeah,
what's with the runes?
the ruins.
The runes on the.
He's like, these. He taps them together as if though they were drumsticks, and you see small blue sparks. And he says, "The disease proved most resistant to casting lesser restoration. So when the clerics failed, they turned to faith. But I turned to science. At great cost, expense, and anguish," he doesn't elaborate, "we managed to obtain a dwarvish runesmith who specialized in utensils. I imbued these sewing needles with the appropriate magics that I felt could act as a mutual nullifying field. Tell me, my friend," he sparks them again, "are you familiar with the principle of a magnet?"
Vaguely.
He's like, yes. Opposites attract, but the same fields push away.
Yeah.
These two are attuned to the same frequency. When I lance from either direction, it forces a disruption at the molecular level.
Ooh.
Additionally, it acts upon the spirit, which I believe is key to the contagion. I am still developing my theories, however, and it is possible there's a totally non-magical explanation for all of the events we have witnessed.
Define
Usually
great
is.
expense.
He says, well, the Treasury had to forgive a certain mercenary company's entire debt.
Guesstimate as to how much that would be.
It's not just that they owed us many platinum bars. It's that they had also killed the former Lord Governor of the city after he hired them to take back control of the city from our current government, which they also sacked, and he then didn't pay them. So it was more of a personal thing for us, but desperate times, desperate measures, I always say.
Sim, like, looks around at everybody in the office. He's like, what the hell's going on in this?
They look very downtrodden. Everyone's kind of like, they were kind of speaking euphemistically and be like, you don't know, because they didn't really want to talk about this. The coroner doesn't really seem to give a shit, though. He seems more fascinated by the proceedings than anything else. But
I like
History check to see if we were the ones who sacked the previous governor.
not us, but the other characters.
All right, I'm gonna walk into the
I need a number of characters.
you can roll history to know about that event, but yeah, soon Uru rolls the investigation, so yeah, I'd say investigation to check out the evidence, and Uru's got a 21.
Yeah, without touching any dead bodies, though. She's not trying to get
Yeah, so history, Ura does not do that great. She doesn't even know what mercenary company's name is, but she heard of it. She knows that this is a trading power in the region, and she knows that they have a lockdown on a substance known as spice. She also knows that Varga spice, the thing that they trade from the east and send gold west, it has hallucinogenic properties. That's why it's so popular, and there is a government-controlled monopoly that goes out to certain merchant houses, and Hatchet Boys used to be in street-dealing spice that they stole or officials skimmed off the top before they got into axe murders.
right. All good to know.
Yeah, and so that okay, so soon you look at the stuff, it definitely looks like some of the stone and other stuff has obvious signs of radiant damage. Doesn't really give you much more, though. 12-sided guy, you notice that there are, like... There aren't skeletons here, but there are drawings of bodies. It looks like they've set up the area and had someone do a sketch. And the sketch artist seems to be very well versed in humanoid anatomy. They seem to have given a fairly accurate picture. And what stands out about it to you is the way that you've seen decapitations in your time. They're usually messy and not clean.
I've probably done a few.
You've probably done a few yourself. These are the cleanest decaps you've ever seen. This isn't natural. You've probably only ever encountered one other thing that decaps like this. Vorpal weapons.
I see.
My character immediately assumes that it's for other character tasks.
The Vorpal slicers.
Just kidding.
Just doing her some driving a breed in the city.
So what all else is in this evidence?
There's effects of people who've died. There are recordings of interviews with people who were accused of having something to do with the Hatchet Boys, or who claim to have evidence of the Hatchet Boys. And I will say that one other thing that you get is you get a general sense that the Hatchet Boys were operating, had a safe house somewhere on north side, even though their primary turf was on east side. And
it's funny that you basically knew what I was going to ask before I asked it. Because I was totally going to be like, what does this tell us about the Hatchet Boys?
Right. And
I was gonna say, what else do we know about the Hatchet Boys?
But Aura manages to not just go over the reports and such, but turn over the effects. And she finds a locket. It's a locket with a picture. It looks like a sketch, actually, of all, but it's been colored, almost like with tinted charcoals in some strange process that would have probably been fairly time-consuming. In a silver locket, and she notices something's off about the texture. Popping it open and checking behind, she sees a many times folded, thin piece of paper.
Oh, pop that open. By the way, my character is using gloves to exhume all this shit.
You do find there are some droplets of blood at the center of the paper, dried, very old, dried. The note.
Blood, but...
The note says, I'm getting out of the game. I've dropped the whole drop, but behind the mausoleum. You know which one. Don't find me. Don't find anyone related to me. I'm already gone before you've read this. Fuck this city. Fuck this plague. And it is signed with J.
J. Interesting. What does this sketch look like, by the way?
I was gonna say.
Of the woman?
Yes. Describe her.
She appears to be of... You don't know a lot about the city, but middling means. She's got a fine, respectable dress on. She's got, curled hair. She seems to be smiling thinly at the sketch artist. It seems like a regular woman.
Can we show the officer?
Yeah, has the officer seen this?
Inspector Cargrew will be like, my, 7 C's! A clue!
Well, yeah.
Indeed. Who is this?
Constable Barry, did we catch this? And he's like, where was that, sir? A silver locket. He checks his notes and he's like, no, sir, I don't have it catalogued here in inventory. And he's like, well, note it down, Barry. Ah, thank you, ma'am. We've been starved of a woman's intuition here for some time, unfortunately. The survivors tend to stay at home, understandably.
Understandably.
Yes, well.
A strange point. Did I find anything, by the way, that relates to, or that correlates with the plague aside from that? Is there any indication that these deaths have something to do with the plagued individuals being murdered or anything like that?
The murders begin 2 months ago, around the time that the plague had basically fully burned out, and there haven't been any living specimens of the organism found since then. So it looks like the murders actually begin, with the 21, you would say, suspiciously close to the end of the plague.
Okay.
How many murders exactly was there? Sorry.
How many murders?
Do we know?
There have been
rough number?
There have been. I mean, you can just ask them; it'll tell you. Or Barry, Constable Barry will tell you. 27 to date, sir.
27. That's a whole lot.
And Constable Cargrew goes grimly, rubbing his chin. 29, if you consider the potentials.
Potentials? Soon raises his eyebrow.
They weren't decapitated, but they were found bled out at the scene.
Yes, continue.
Well, they were rival gangsters. The Float Street Boys.
The Float Street Boys.
Yeah, I mean...
Where do they hang around?
No, another East Side gang. Most gangs are East Side. It's where the Holloman work. Nor Arbor and Sow Arbor. A lot of, that's where the spice is, and most of them are in the spice game. They were rivals, adjacent territory, you know how it goes. jockeying for position, customers, supply lines. They kill each other all the time before the plague.
And
What, you
since
didn't think
the
this
plague
could be
now,
part of the...
Since the
Go
plagues tapered out, well, for a while there wasn't really anything in Spice, because no one was going to sail to a plague-ridden city. The gangs, well, I mean, they acted like everyone else. At some point, they just started fighting like there was nothing left. By the time they realized that it was almost only women, and they were almost all men, they'd already gone and, you know, I mean, they were out of income other than mugging and robbing, but they've mostly joined the looters, like everyone else. Yeah, it's all we can do to keep West End from being looted, and of course, Southern Islands are safe. But North End has formed militias, and East End is Constable Barry pipes it up. It's a mausoleum.
It's a mausoleum, you say?
Yes, and Inspector Cargo says, to be perfectly honest with you, half the law in East End is the clerics roaming the streets. We had rumors of foreign necromancers attempting to infiltrate via the arbors and called down some holy judgment. I think they're mostly just squirming because they couldn't do anything about the plague, and everyone's sort of forgotten about their gods, given that they failed them when we most needed them.
Okay.
The other half is the gangs who are of a more benevolent persuasion, but I mean, the money dried up for a while. The ones who are back alive are getting back into Spice as best they can. Shipments have resumed, if not quite to pre-plague levels. We are the port of call to move things between here and the northern mainland. So,
All right, I think we have a...
Well, one more question. What do you know of any specific mausoleums that would be related to the Hacker Boys? Or I think it was Hacker Boys, right? Or
Hatchet
Hatchet.
Boys. He's like, mausoleum.
Specific graveyards, maybe somewhere that they frequent.
He's like graveyards, and this constable stands up from his desk. He's like, I knew it. He's like, Constable Hargrew. What are you speaking of? He's like, I told you, those boots. They had the stink of the grave around them. And he runs it back into the room, and he takes out a pair of boots. They've got some blood on the sides, and he's like, we pulled these off of one of the murdered Hatchet Boys. He's like,
From where?
He's like, well, so he's like, this is one of the strange things about the case. And when we started to realize that it might not be the Hatchet Boys, but the Angels, but an angel, or, I mean, we don't really know what's going on, but we know an angel is involved. And last week, this Hatchet Boy wound up without a head, dumped under one of the bridges between East Side and North Side.
We need
It looked like he was going northeast back to their territory, and there was, and he's like, he just like, you can kind of see sign of his dirt, and he's like, and when it came in, I could have sworn this was grave dirt. I had to stink about it.
Yeah, let's get directions to that.
And he's like,
can we go there right away, please?
Graves in North Side. Oh, there's probably enough to fill a book. No kind of grave you're looking for? Is it attached to a certain temple?
No, to the bridge.
We have a mausoleum.
A mausoleum. Mausoleums should mostly be in the large ones. You want directions to the bridge? Sir, and Hargrew's like, I'll go with you. Yeah, and he looks at Inspector Cargrew and he's like, yes, but you have strict orders. Anything angelic starts happening, don't go in.
Valid. You
Don't worry, that's kind of our job.
Yes, that's what we're paying these fine Crownbreakers for. We're not trained or equipped to fight angels.
No, you are not. No offense.
But yeah, they'll give you... Yes, Torso guy?
Speaking of paying us, since we're here anyway, are there any other open bounties you guys have?
and he's like, he kind of like looks at you, and he looks at a sheet of paper, and he's like, "Well,
We're here anyway. We're taking care of your business."
And they show you a sheet of paper. And you notice it's had an interesting set of addendums made to it. So, like, these are bounties on gangsters. They belong to groups like the Hatchet Boys, the Float Street Boys.
Oh yeah, that's
the Dancing
exactly
Lads.
the sort of thing I was looking for.
The Seamstress Circle. Many of them have been marked off as like dead of like the Seamstress Circle. Every member has been marked off dead of plague. Seems to have been an all-woman gang, and all of the ones they used to have something like Wanted Alive or Wanted Dead or Alive, and now they've all been marked as like Dead or Alive or just dead. Most of them are like the biggest one is 120 gold.
That's fine.
It's for the leader of the Hatchet Boys.
Oh,
that's fine. I'll take it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like to us, that's nothing. But this is also information that I feel like could tell us something. Yeah. So
his name is Jezza Hatch. Jezza Hatch is worth 120 gold.
Ooh.
And he says, if you bring them back alive or proof that they are deceased, then we will, I'm still empowered to pay out these bounties.
Right. I figure since we're here anyway.
Yep, might as well. I think we have all the information we need at this point.
Yeah, and Inspector Cargo is like, very well then. If you will excuse me, I'm going to work these cases. If we'll try and let you know if anything comes up. But Hogru should know everything we know, and right now I need to think about the rest of the things going wrong in the city and what I can do to help.
Of course.
Yeah, so Barry, Cargrew, the other two constables go back to work. The coroner waves at you fondly and says, "Have a good trip. Let me know if you find any interesting bodies." And he's like, "Oh, and don't forget to bring back those masks."
Sounds good to me.
I need a mask.
This episode brought to you by Gotham, the TV show. So recent.
Are plague masks like a motif?
No, but the rival gangs in a walled-off city in the middle of the ocean is kind of a thing.
Okay, fair. True. So, I assume that you guys depart with Constable Hargrew.
Yeah.
Yeah, as soon as we're like out of the building, I take the plague mask and I apply a little angel dust to it.
Okay, interesting.
All right.
Could hurt. My theory is that it'll protect me from the plague.
To the outside of it or the inside of it?
The inside.
All right, it's like we're like, so you want to almost like filter the air you're breathing in.
Exactly.
Basically.
All right, so
character has no idea if this will work or not. Totally just like.
You guys are at the West End. And Hogger's like, right, the fastest way to where we're going is over the bridge to...
Cool.
Oh my god. She made a fucking prequel joke. She made a fucking prequel meme. And now I want to do an Auto Gunga one-shot about fucking Gungans fucking around.
TBH, you could probably fit that into this Angel series. I'm not gonna lie.
Jar Jar in the game. Moving right along. Hargu says, it's up to you. I wouldn't go there alone, but I mean, he looks at you and he's like, you're Crownbreakers. I don't think some street thug is gonna bother you.
And like smirks, he's like, I promise you, they won't.
He's like, yeah, so the fastest way is through East End. There is a lot of looting over there these days. But, I mean, hey, it would take us through Hatchet Boy territory, so maybe when we run into one of them...
Sorry, where are we going first, by the way? The bridge, yeah?
Yeah, you asked about the bridge. So let me grab a poi so I can like start marking things persistently on your map.
Boy.
Poi poi.
Boy.
The bridge of the boots. Da-da-da. And yeah, so you guys, advanced is drawing and small in it, are taken to a confluence of like channels. There's smaller canals, but they mostly have like walkways and grates around them. But there's these big, like basically rivers in the city. You can see the water's a bit murky. You see some people sort of like hanging around by the edge of the water. Some of them are like drinking out of barrels. Some of them are just like warming their hands as they burn trash under an alcove. Hargrew shakes his head and he says, "Superstitious lot."
Superstitious about what?
He's like, "Well, most people are squatting in the abandoned houses now, but some people believe that the plague is going to come back." So he says, for some reason, none of the beggars who live on the canal, he gesticulates, and there's like a level that's like where the gondolas are, because there's gondolas, but like deep, like there's like the murkiness of the water, and like there's clearly some squalor where people have been living in archways and near like funnels out of like there's like water flows and sewage and stuff. Like there's nicer and shittier parts of the Riviera basically, and there's some people who live by both. They've increasingly moved to the nice parts because not so many gondola rides being sold these days. But he's like, yeah, none of the beggars down there caught the disease, even though they're usually the first to get sick when anything breaks out. So all those superstitious buggers, some of them even have homes they could come back to. Just down there next to the fire barrels, warming their hands and, I don't know, waiting for the end, I guess. It's been gone 2 months now. You'd think the city could start to... Anyway. And he doesn't seem to want to talk about it anymore, but you guys make it across the bridge. And as you arrive, you see what looks to be like two guys carrying a player piano down the street. When they see you, they're like coming out of a door and they're like, "Hey, yeah, be careful with that. Hey, this thing's gonna be worth a fortune." And then they look down the street and they're like, "Back up the stairs." And he's like, "What in the heck? On my back? Back up the stairs on the double." And they just start to like, they're just trying to like, reverse field and get the piano player back into the building they're pulling it out of.
Yells out at them. He's like, "Halt!"
And they're like, "I'm not going to bother with this."
All right, do you want to roll intimidation soon?
Sure.
That was an insight, but I'll take the dice roll. What's your modifier on intimidation?
I'm done, sorry.
Because you rolled a 9. What's your plus on it? Oh, yeah.
4.
They're like...
Never mind.
So, like, they managed to... well, actually, let's see what they do. They managed to get their act back together, and they say, "Sawed off, then!" and slam the door behind them before, you hear a pitter-pattering of feet inside as they presumably run the fuck away.
I look to the police officer, and I'm like, "Did you not think that might be a crime?"
And he's like, "I think we mentioned this back at the station, but looting's going on all over the East End. It's all we can do to keep West End under control, and we have our orders from the Lord Governor's Hall. North End is basically fending for itself, and East End is gesticulates around, and he's like, look, we're just trying to stop, the worst of it. I doubt whoever owned that is still alive."
Yeah, that's the point. That's why I didn't bother with it.
Sin still looks very annoyed, but fine. Lead us on then.
He takes you guys around and down the street, and he's like, "Be careful. This is Hatchet Boys territory. If you see any of them, we might be able to get the drop on them." And you walk down the street. Yes, Pat?
The constable dressed like a constable, presumably, right?
Yeah, the Constable Hargrew has a hat with a medallion with the crossed flintlock and rapier. He's got a badge that he wears as like an amulet. He's got a jacket that clearly marks him. It's like blue and gold. Like he is very obviously a constable. Anybody walking down the street knows
So
that's a cop.
I have a cloak, and I'm thinking him looking like a constable might not be great if we're trying to, not necessarily infiltrate, but to walk around unnoticed by hatchet boys.
Yes,
So I have
however, a
Yeah.
woman walking around without a cloak in the city where there are no women would also be a very bad idea.
I have alter self at will.
Well, actually, you do see. Oh yeah, because isn't Aura a changeling?
No,
Oh wait, no,
Oh,
that's,
it's interesting.
I'm a
that's soon.
warlock, and I've got that. Well, it's not at will, but I've got that.
Unification.
I'm actually gonna do that. Yeah, I'm gonna go into my the boy form that I was in the other time. I'm gonna look like that.
All right, Ura Dusk goes boy mode, and the constable's been taken aback, and he's like, "Why don't you just?"
Trying to blend in. She
He's
says
like,
in her normal female voice.
he's like, an illusionist of some sort. Of course, you Crownbreakers are all gifted.
I was gonna say, literally as she finishes, Soon like makes his face look like ours for a moment, and then like swaps back to his own, and he's like, yes, Constable, Crownbreakers can do amazing things.
And she's gonna hand the constable her cloak, and she says, "I'm trying to fit in. You should fit in too."
And he's like, right.
Just that.
And he kind of like ducks and doffs his cap and like shoves the amulet down into a pocket, and
Good.
he I mean, yeah, he does what he can.
I just shrug. I'm just like,
You guys walk down
So
the
now
street,
because I don't do any of this stuff, right?
and
So-
he's like, there's bound to be hatchet boys around here somewhere. It's their territory. But they walk down the street, and there's no hatchet boys. In fact, you see a rare sight. You see an old woman.
That is
She's drinking at a burnt-out, windows all shattered bar full of broken glass and ashen timbers. But half the bar is still good, and she seems to be treating herself to some grain liquor. And he says, "Sorry sight, that one. Probably one of the lucky." You notice he says the lucky almost like there's a capital L.
I'm gonna ask him what that means.
And he's like, well, some women just manage to survive or hide away fast enough, but some of them, the coroner said something about genetic immunity or something like that. They just didn't get sick. By the end, most of them wound up working as nurses. The biggest problem in the city was that he kind of coughs and he was like, well, traditionally, men have been doctors and women have been nurses. That has changed with the new government, and there are quite a few women doctors, but men are generally reluctant to become nurses. So, once the plague hit the hospital, he kind of trails off. Anyway, that's where the lucky first appeared, when they got their name in the papers. Some of them could just be around the plague the whole time and never get sick. If she's out here, I don't know. Maybe she's come out hiding, but I don't know.
Well, might as well speak to her since she's seen the whole thing. Maybe she would know something about these murders.
All right,
Like,
she's kind of yes, soon.
I was gonna say, yeah, not super interested in her, but okay, if you wanna.
Yeah, all right. She's wrapped up like a babushka, and she's like sitting there enjoying some grain alcohol out of the bottle, and when she hears the creaking on the doors, she calls out to you in a weak voice. "Sally, is that you?"
My character says, "I'm afraid not."
And
But
she says, "Oh, tell Sally I'm drinking at the usual spot again."
yeah. Who is Sally so that we can tell her?
She says, "Oh, we work the same shift."
Same ship?
Aye, we're both Noir Arbor women.
Sorry?
We're both Noir Arbor women. She's saying we're both Noir Arbor women.
Yep, got it.
Which is, you're beginning to realize what they call the big harbors. Noir Arbor and Sal Arbor in East End.
Sounds about right, and also about Boston, Galstonia. Yeah, so she's like, Noir Arbor, got it. We're not from around here, you see.
And he's like, oh, you come for the spice?
We came for a few reasons. Is there any chance I could ask you a question?
Oh, sir, but if you want the spice, you'll have to find one of those dealer boys.
Yeah. How about that? Whereabouts might I find one of them?
He's like, oh, I saw a new one around the alley just the other day. Seemed he was cooking up something mean. Yeah.
Interesting. Which alley?
She says, oh, it couldn't be more than 2 blocks from here. Take a right under the sign with the white knight's helmet.
Much appreciated. And Aura's gonna drop her a gold coin, and she says, "For your troubles, have yourself another."
And she's like, oh, thank you. I'll have to put this on my tab. And she just merrily drinks.
Yeah, well, we got some good information for that, I think. Let's go check out that White Knight's.
Yeah, so you head down the street and you see that the building with the White Knight sign. The sign is kind of hanging a jaunty ankle, like the upper wooden support has been broken away, and it's only hanging on by like not a thread, but like the lower strut. And you basically see that there are the building has slightly collapsed. It's like a 3-story building. The upper story's collapsed. The first one has like beams coming out of the window. Second has a beam coming out the window. And the first story has some like ash covered faces in front of it, and it looks like there's maybe children living there. They say, "Aye, chimney sweeps for service."
Chimney sweeps.
Aye, only a silver a shoot.
We're not looking for.
Yeah. We're not really in the.
And they're like, please, sir. We can't steal like the big boys. We've got to work for our coin. We're agile.
I can think of one way you can work for your coin for us. Aura says, information.
And they're like, ooh, and like everyone like recedes, and they're like, and then one of them comes out and like, all right, we've got someone here who knows a lot of things. Did maybe, yeah, we'll go and tell him. Yeah, him. If
she'll drop the orphan a silver and say, we're looking for some spice.
Can I?
He immediately bites it and says, "Oh, I can tell you where the spice boy is. We've a new one ever since the Hatchet boys left."
What? The Hatchet boys are gone?
What do you mean by left? Yeah.
Ain't been a Hatchet boy out here in half a week.
Oh.
What's left of them? What went up to North End? Said they had to go back to the stash. Get out the city.
Do you know why that was?
I don't, but maybe.
Man, that's squeaky.
Let's hear that information, guy.
Sorry. Maybe he knows, but he bites the silver and he's like, "We'll go talk terms." And he scurries off, and you see there's a basement, and it's like a hatch they pull up, and you hear conversing in the distance. You can roll perception if you want to listen in.
Yeah, I definitely want to listen in. He's obviously they're shady as fuck, but
Okay. Chokeside guy, there's sound, maybe it's human voices. Soon you hear two voices speaking. Ura, you hear two voices speaking.
I didn't roll.
Oh, that was your investigation. I'm sorry. You are free to roll
that
this perception.
investigation was from earlier. Yeah, that's from like earlier. Sure. Let's see here. Perception.
Ura and 12-side guy, or Ura and Edwin, catch what? So it's hard to tell because they're prepubescent, but it sounds like maybe a girl's voice, except deeper. Something I don't know. They
I'll keep my ears open for thieves' game.
All right. They come back up and he says, "Yeah, well, the one that knows things. They say. So you wanted to know. You wanted to know where the Matchup Boys went, yeah?
Yeah.
He says it's gold.
Would you mind? Yeah, let's go speak to them then.
And they're like, oh, he's like, well, we and you hear a voice from below, and it's like they're willing to pay, and you see trotting up the you see at first a ragged mass of black streaked with white hair, and then as it turns around, the small but tusked face of a half-orc girl. And she says, and she's like, give me the gold, I know where the Hatchet Boys are. And they're like, Susie, you have to, and she just sort of pushes them aside, and she's like, gold.
What would you do with this gold if we give it to you?
Or like thumbs are gold like that.
All right.
She's like, fuck.
All right. So you so you give her the gold?
Yeah, like that.
She catches it like in her teeth, and she's like, and she's like, it's real, and all the little like chimney sweeps around her are like, and like soot goes everywhere, and she's like, yes, and she's I know where they were hiding. One of the fools got drunk, and I punched the kid who swiped the map from him and took it off his bloody nosed face.
Mm-hmm.
And with the gold in hand, she produces a slightly bloodied, slightly damp map. It's a rip-off of a newspaper. An article seems to be listing fatalities at the hospital. But in between the words, you see a map that doesn't mean anything to you of about 5-6 square blocks, one of which has a very diagonal street on it. And it's got a square on it, and it's the only thing marked aside from roads. And it's got an X on it as well. And Hagru says, may I?
Yeah.
He looks at it and he's like, yes, North End. I was right. Yes, this has to be... Yes. This has to be Northeast Street. This has to be Northeast. If this is Northeast, that's the cathedral.
Calm down, Constable.
If that's the cathedral, but that's not where the box is. It must. There's.
Constable.
He's like, yes. I know where this is. I'm just surprised. I never thought. But yeah, this is Anyway, this is across the street from a minor potion monger. There's a small plot, one of the old civic plots. I think that someone bought a mausoleum there. I think they were maybe a city official. And there's a vault, one of those raised stone things as well.
That sounds exactly like what we're looking for.
Yeah,
it does.
Like
that makes sense that everything's falling into place. And Constable Agru is like,
go.
all right, let's hurry. And around the corner, as you hurry, comes a boy with a skull, and he's like, forsooth, did I hear someone seeking glorious spice? Seems to be about, 18 years old, and he's got a skull, and he's got a red feather in his jaunty cap, and he's got a big cloak that's way too big for him, and he's like, sweet spice.
we have the rights to that art?
It is
Public domain at this point.
public domain. Wikimedia Commons. I think it's like a Rembrandt.
Yeah.
Can we just totally ignore him and go?
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, you can just totally like get lost, kid. And he's like, but I've baked it into pies, delicious pies. Only a gold, such a reasonable price for such a balls ass trip. Spies.
Your pies.
And yeah, you guys just blow them off because you don't want any spice pie.
At least not from a plague city. My character's not interested in getting a plague.
Look, I'm here to break some crowns, okay?
As you cross the street, you see a paladin in armor, flanked by two clerics, and the paladin salutes you and says, "Oh, what brings you to our fine city?"
Oh, official business.
Yeah.
He looks up and down and he's like, "Wait a minute. That glow, the look in your eyes, the smell of the heavens. Oh, so the rumors are true. Crownbreakers."
The one and only.
He's like, "Well, normally we would be at cross purposes, but if this is about the killings..." He looks at Constable Hargrew almost like he knows him. And Hargrew sort of gives him a nod and he's like, "Hey, Ted." And he's like, "Hargrew." And then he says, "If it's about the killings, then have at it. A grim business to finish a horrid affair." And he's like, "Well then..."
We kind of deal in horrid affairs.
"Quite. But normally, in my opinion, you're the ones causing them. At least once you'll be the end of them. Yet the clerics give you a sort of a stink eye, but they walk by and the paladin's like, well, we'll be about our business. Probably some looters to go harangue."
Yeah.
With a 14 for religion, do I recognize who these people serve?
Worship.
With a 14 to religion, you see that the paladin has markings on his chest plate consistent with an oath of the crown. The clerics, if you had to guess based on the iconography, perhaps a Tempest or Life Domain. You don't recognize the particular religions. You doubt it has much sway beyond the city or region.
My character's kind of like under her breath, "I hate clerics."
Yeah. So with Spice Boy and the God Gang behind you, you find Northeast Street. It's tilted. You see some militia patrols. They give you a wide fucking berth when they see how well armed you are, and they don't bother you as you find your way. You see an epic cathedral piercing the skyline in the distance. The sun is actually beginning to set by this point, and it backlights the cathedral and glows through some of the stained glass windows on the opposite side are like casting this ethereal haze. And you, with this in the background, you come upon this unassuming street, mostly residential. You see a painted sign of a cauldron, which is having a brown liquid poured into it, and then this cauldron has holes in it, almost like it's a cauldron, but also a colander. But it's pouring gold out the bottom.
Yeah. Fancy. Alchemist.
It's like a sign.
Yeah, that's a painted sign.
What do you mean it's actually just gold pouring out?
No.
An alchemist who knows an artist.
And across the street from that, there's you would think of them as brownstones, but they're white, up and around everywhere, sort of dingy, dirty, not well maintained. And there's just a graveyard here, in this residential area. It has a marking on one of the stones. It says civic plot northeast.
And this is the the cathedral we were looking for? The mausoleum?
No, the cathedral is like it was like 2 or 3 blocks away.
Okay.
No, you're at where you. The cathedral is far away. The graveyard you're at is the graveyard you're looking for.
Oh, okay.
These are the doors to the
And yeah, you guys have arrived at a graveyard. And if you could just all give me an investigation check the moment you arrive.
I'll give you an investigation, but remember, I'm not touching any bodies.
Let's get it.
Ura is a little bit squeamish being in a cemetery, given what she's been told. Edwin sees that there's definitely more footsteps than you'd expect from a handful of mourners. The path of convenience trodden a bit deeper. Not quite sure where it goes.
I must be drunk or something with these rolls.
What do I know?
And soon,
Maybe I don't have a time.
soon sees that the footsteps deliberately make an arc, a horseshoe arc around the grass, as if though trying to throw off anybody trying to trace where they're going. But it leads to a bit of disturbed dirt back here. And also, there's a little sign, so
Yeah. I see now.
anybody who wants to can follow soon.
Yeah, let's go.
Constable Hargrew will.
Can we? Okay, we're just gonna. Cool.
Yeah. And Edwin, do you follow them?
Kind of, sort of, not really.
Do you gain vision of the north side of the mausoleum?
This side?
Yeah.
I don't think so now.
Okay. Constable Hargrew comes over and he bats it down and he says, one of those damn burglars triangles. Fucked if I know what it means.
Burglar's triangle.
Burglar's triangles.
Yeah, so like thieves can't in Crownbreakers inherently includes like hobo signs. Yeah. So like if you know thieves can't, you know hobo signs, and hobo signs are part of thieves can't.
I do in fact know thieves can.
All right. Well, then soon sees it and knows that this is marked as it's a mark saying this is a patch of boys turf. Fuck off, basically.
Huh.
And there's recently disturbed dirt right below you.
Yeah. Somebody who isn't over is gonna touch that.
Constable Hargrew's like, he's like, fuck. Looks like we have to dig. Don't suppose anybody brought a spade?
Not particularly.
Brought a couple of arrows. Will those do?
Chosai got it. Yes.
Can I shoot the ground?
The reason this is funny is because I've never actually had the shovel come in use, but I do have one.
Edwin just like busts out the shovel, like always need this. And Constable Hargrew's like, right, if you want to start breaking dirt, I don't know how deep this is gonna be buried, but I can go get the Undertaker and trouble them for a shovel. Say it's official city business. Flash my badge.
I mean, I suppose.
We'll only need the one shovel.
Constable Hargrew's like, well then, we can take turns if you prefer, but he sort of steps back and lets you do your thing.
I almost certainly won't be that deep.
Yeah, it isn't. Well, I say that. It's not too deep before you find something. You stab into something and then flip something off, and it looks like you just took half a nose with you when you jutted that last bit of dirt. And below, you see, looking up at you, a head?
Not gonna touch that. Not gonna touch that. No with that.
It seems to have been recently buried.
Can we exhume the whole body, please?
So, Edwin, I assume you proceed to exhume more?
I think you might as well.
This.
You notice the whole area behind
this-
this has been disturbed recently.
The whole area?
like the 3 squares over here as well.
Huh.
This was just the last place they filled in, and it was a bit.
Do we?
Like,
Is this where we think the thing buried by Jay is?
Maybe. This is what we're assuming.
potentially, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
So
I'll dig shallow around where we think.
okay. You
the
find
response would be.
mostly headless bodies. As you exhume them,
Okay.
Hargrew will identify by extensive bills or missing toes members of the Hatchet Boys. And the head, by the way, is of their leader.
Oh, hey, we can get that bounty now.
Yeah, Jezza Hatch. You have Jezza Hatch's head.
120 gold.
Nice.
I'll pick it up.
No,
I took it
I'm
up from the.
One other Hatchet Boy's
Oh.
head is there, and Constable Hargrew says, "Oh no."
I'll just like hand you my sack. Just be like, that's gross even for me.
He's
Take that.
I'll
like,
take it.
it's like, oh, this is poor Chezza. He was just a lad who got in with the wrong type. Oh God. You think you get used to dead bodies and then you find this shit.
The Hatchet Boys are no more, it seems.
He's like, I can't. He scratches his head and he's like, this has to be every goddamn Hatchet. I mean, I don't know. It looks like there's more bodies underneath. That has to be all the Hatchet Boys if I'm counting it right, if I'm guessing right. So yeah, it looks like there's a lot of Hatchet Boys bodies here. Do you check like their pockets and effects?
Not
Sure.
me personally, no.
Them
I'll do
personally?
it.
All right. So Soon gets down there and digs around the pockets.
Yeah.
Give me an investigation roll.
Okay.
Might as well let the changeling who has no established sex deal with that shit.
You
You would be correct.
you find 7 gold pieces, all told, in loose change.
Hell yeah.
You
I'll
find
give you a sack for Buddy's head.
For his head? Okay, bet. I'll put the head in the sack.
all right. So yeah, you guys are finished up back here. Oh, wait, sorry, you're not. I mean,
All I find is a little bit
D-
of gold. Like, no.
does anybody else want to bet? Yeah. So I mean, you find other personal effects, but nobody has an.
I was gonna say, can I make like a specific roll, like to look for signs of angels?
You know what? I'm gonna
Like maybe
assist.
some burning on their bodies or something?
I will grab gloves.
Roll religion or arcana. Although I will say, it was Aura who noticed how uncannily clean those cuts were.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Yeah, are these?
She
the
sees
same?
that again here.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah, I'm gonna point out that this is probably angelic in nature. The clean cuts. There's an angel dealing with these pathopores.
Additionally, if any of you would like to roll medicine to examine the bodies,
Oh, amazing! I'm so good today.
I mean, you rolled average. That was a 10. You just only have a +2.
I know.
Can I say that I kept the gloves that I was using in the investigation earlier?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna then using the gloves very specifically. If I do not want to get sick, I'm going to exhume the corpses alongside, or at least assist.
Yeah. Aura notices in the 2 heads remaining, signs of blinding in the eyes, almost like they've been flashed with a very powerful light. Very telltale. Saw and survived a flash, but actually this seems a little bit weak. Normally when an angel crowns up, it would be, I mean, it turns people to ash. It's very powerful. It's almost like this was just a very bright light. That is consistent with people who see angels crown up from far enough away to not be damaged, though.
Okay, so I'm guessing these people were not directly.
But you also see scarring on their bodies and clothing consistent with a crown up. If anybody would like to, someone mentioned earlier, any ideas of what kind of angel this might be? You all can now roll either religion or arcana at advantage to know what kind of angel this might be.
I got nothing.
Okay. Soon, you know that there are some angels who can don and doff their crowns in a less explosive manner, dealing more limited damage to those adjacent to them. Crownbreakers are generally immune to that weak of damage. But them being crowned up does still make them a red hot on your radar. 12-side guy, Edwin knows what kind of angel is likely to both do that and chop off people's heads. They're called a carnifex, or an executioner. They tend to have the job of hurrying one along to the afterlife. Sometimes because they've been assigned to eliminate people who've committed a particularly terrible crime, and the angel just descends and does the job. The reason they don't crown up in a very damaging way compared to other angels, it's still damaging to regular people, is because they're not supposed to be collateral damage boys, and they're expected to have to get in amongst human beings and chop off one person's head or kill them. They're not always chopping off the head. In fact, this is a little bit weird, because where did the heads go? There's only 2 heads here. You have a lot of headless bodies. Real strange. And one of the MOs in the record is that the SEAL Code, the Hasher Boys, whatever they were thinking was doing this, keeping the heads. Yeah. Real weird.
That is really weird.
And
that's not a usual thing that these executioners do?
No.
Ooh.
It's not. This is strange. This is aberrant behavior. That being said, Crownbreakers don't normally fight at regular angels.
That is true.
So you know that it's a carnifex, and I would say that you know that they are generally lightly armored. You know it is at a 17 AC, but you know it has higher HP, around 200 HP. And you manage to surmise from everything else that it's probably wielding some sort of powerful axe.
Alright. Cool. So it seems like we know more or less what we're dealing with.
Yeah, do
I'm assuming you relate that to us.
Hey.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, okay.
Yeah, he would. Yeah, he'd also rebury the bodies, and then using thieves can't mark the spaces "do not loot," even though it's been looted. But what are you gonna do?
Valid.
Yep.
yeah, I was all taking that.
Okay. So now that all that remains really is to find this angel, because now we've basically determined that it's not in fact the Hatchet Boys doing all this damage.
Say that's all that ever remains for a Crownbreaker.
Okay.
I mean, if we get up to the cathedral and call it out, there's a good
That's
chance
possible.
he'll show up.
We haven't yet determined why it's killing people, although it seems, I mean, obviously a gang would be something that an angel would normally dispose of, so this is not abnormal to us. The other people that have died, though, they're not related to the gang necessarily, are they? Or they're rival gang members? Or...
So, some of them were rival gang members, which made it seem like it could have been gang violence, but others...
Right.
I mean, part of the reason that you will know about the series of murders is that some of these were like West End gentry and one aristocratic woman.
Ah, yeah.
Oh.
Which
Seems
is
like
well beyond the purview of... I mean, they were all like caught outside their homes, but like well outside the purview of an East End group of spice gangers. This doesn't make it like they were posturing the Hatchet Boys because they had some links to them, but really it never made that much sense. That's why they eventually decided this has to be an angel, even though they don't know anything about angels. They started to get too much evidence that pointed that direction.
Right. Okay. So, I suppose the cathedral would be prudent. Anywhere we haven't checked.
Would you like to
like what kind of
Would you like to see the city map?
Yeah, so
Yeah,
let's
please.
see that. We walked around a little bit on the east side. We didn't feel anything. Walked around the west side. We didn't feel anything.
Yeah, I'll like label like Hatchet Boys turf, civic plot northeast, and then you know,
Where's the cathedral?
a few blocks to the west is the cathedral.
Let's go there.
It's backlit in vaporwave colors by the setting of the sun.
Hell yeah. Vaporwave is always the way to go.
Yeah, let's get near there.
Okay, so you guys, you just you walk down the street, and you guys walk down the street, and there are a few more people here. They're going about their business, mostly doing important things like fetching water or scurrying about. They are a little bit weirded out to see you, but you do notice that the colors of the floor of the like street in front of the cathedral changed, like both like a subdued like sandstone and also like a vibrant gold for a portion of it, and it's clear that this thing is like a major like landmark of the city, and it is emptier than like the taverns and the street. There's nobody there, but the doors are open, and there is a sign which next to like a symbol of somebody like kneeling says hearing testaments.
Does what?
Hearing testaments.
You can roll religion to know what that means.
Oh, yeah.
Confession.
Yeah, that's I assume as well, but whatever. Just gonna roll.
With the 15, you know that it is similar, and in some religions, it is synonymous. However, testaments don't have to be about something bad that you did. It could be about something good that sometimes yourself, but normally another person did, or something like that. It's kind of like a speak your truth in a religious context event, and it is also often used for communal healing, to talk about a reality, almost like an Alcoholics Anonymous or something like that. And yeah, that's...
Is there one going on?
It says hearing them.
Okay.
If you guys want to... I mean, yeah, you guys, the doors are open. You approach. The wooden floors of the cathedral are... a single altar boy sputters around, trying hard to maintain their luke, and we're just gonna make this the altar because an indeterminate amount of space exists between here and there. Because I didn't start with a large enough map, but basically, there's basically just appears to be some sort of vicar in there, some sort of priest. Yeah. Maybe.
Yeah,
maybe.
well, I'm gonna listen in.
They're not saying anything, but they're standing there, and they've got like. Let me go grab something.
Nod.
The vicar seems to be dressed in a very subdued attire. And
Vicar. I thought you said vicar.
he sees you come in. He's got a sensor, and he says, "Have you come to give testament, my children?"
Not exactly.
He looks around and he says, "Ah, I see. You bear the trappings of the far sky. Your blood runs hot with gold. No, ambrosia." And by the way, he's reared by like an epic stained glass like tower. It's sort of like shooting colors down and around. It seems that they are magically augmented to create almost like this living illusion dancing around behind him as it plays along the walls. And he says, "What truth do you bear, Crownbreakers, to this holy place?"
Well, we bear the truth that the late beheadings are the responsibility of a rogue angel, and we seek that angel to put it down.
And he says, "Testify! This is the testament of the Crownbreakers. Tell us your truth, sister. Tell us, what has this angel done?"
This angel has slain a number of the townsfolk, and at the moment we expect it to continue this unless it is dealt with.
So, as you say this, like, people begin to sort of, like, trickle in, and they're like, "Could it be an angel this whole time? Not the Hatchet Boys?" And they're like, "Raise your voice to the heavens! What is to be done about this scourge on our city? Our plague-ridden city, sister!" And you notice as he swings the censer, the smoke is beginning to turn gold and expand. And it's maybe 15 foot tall. There's like a 15-foot tall, smoky silhouette of him behind him now.
I was gonna say, can we roll inside to see if this guy's a little more than he makes himself out to be?
Yeah.
Yeah, so with that insight, you know that this vicar isn't even a cleric. He doesn't even have any magical powers. He is a regular human being, but there is something, with this insight check, you tell, there is something about this place, about something in the stones. They sing a song at the edge of hearing that matches the immaculate gilded pipes in your mind as they blow and whir, and the gold in your veins, the truth at the back of your mind, and you feel here oneness with that horrible blue void you only glimpsed behind the jade throne before blowing the shit out of thrice enlightened Blue's room and breaking that angel's crown. The far sky, something of the angels is close here. And yet, you feel a peace. Somehow, Soon knows, an angel would not shed blood on this ground unless it had fallen.
Oh, by the way, my character probably doesn't smell all that shit because she's wearing a mask, or does she?
You might smell it like faintly, but like you can almost get the sense that like the sensor is like less to be smelled and more to be seen when you see like the golden lights dancing, the golden vapor dancing behind him. It still has a scent that people not wearing masks do smell, though.
So if he is not even a cleric, then how is the smoke changing colors and moving?
It seems to be something about this place, something about this act, about the act as you witness Aura Dusk. Testify.
I'm gonna call him out on this bullshit.
A call out post? Alright, what do you say?
I just like, enough, stop tricking these people. You're not even attuned with the gods.
The vicar says, "I minister to my flock. I do not require the tongue of the heavens because I am a man of the earth. I leave that to the clerics and the paladins. As a humble North End vicar, I aspire only to bring forth the truth in the flock, that we might all revel in virtue and rid ourselves of sin.
Well, since you're being so truthful, have any of you truthfully seen or heard of an angel in this city?
One of them says, I saw a flash of light. And the vicar shakes his censer and it grows even larger. He says, testify! And the fanatic says, well, it was late one night. I just gone to pay my respects at the southeast plot, and a flash of light from behind me. I feel like if I'd been turned around, it would have been blinding. I heard horrible sounds like axes. I didn't know if there was a fight. I ran away. And he's like, when was this, brother? And he basically says something that would line up with like 2 days ago, like when the Hatchet Boys stopped being around. And yeah, another one says, and my son said he saw something flying in the sky. Late one night, I thought he was making something up, but testify, what did the boy see? And he's like, a figure? A figure on blue wings, coursing high in the sky. Descending somewhere in the islands. Clarify! You mean the South Islands? The South End? That debased, debauched home of those too wealthy to be of the people anymore? And he says, yes, Vicar. And everyone begins to testify, and you get a whole lot of information about weird happenings around the city as more and more fanatics begin to come in, and people randomly say things like, I was cheating on my wife, or, and I saw the miller's boy get drowned the other day, but I couldn't save him. I was afraid I would get carried away by the currents. And everyone just becomes like a cacophony of noise and emotion. And as this happens, the golden smog dances. And the main tower of the cathedral and the stained glass lights coming down through them begin to curve in ways that light does not act and refract through this vaporous image. And you can almost see the visage of an angel. You don't know its name. You don't know what type of angel it is, but it's got an atame in one hand, and it's bleeding ichor out of its right arm.
Like the smoke is like does it look like something behind it, or the smoke is becoming
the smoke is becoming an illusion of this image as the light refracts through it. Tinted in gold, because it's gold ichor. There's some sort of illusion integral to this place, you would suspect, but also you think there's something angelic about it. And someone says, I've never seen this revelation before. And the vicar turns around and says, my God, all the angels, I have never seen one which has passed from the far sky before. He turns around and says, my humble apologies. And he nods to the Crownbreakers.
Huh. So wait, real quick, are all these people saying that they've seen, like, the sightings of the angels?
Increasingly, it's less about
the South Island.
There are some to corroborate that. There are some to put them somewhere else. The veracity of the testimonies begin to come into question, and they start to talk about other shit. But yeah, it seems like there's at least a few putting them at the South Islands.
Okay, well, let's go to the South Islands. That sounds about right to me.
Okay.
Where else would an angel be but a seat of corruption of some sort?
But so the smoke, without any input from him, can I try to like tell if he was the one who did that somehow? Like,
I'd say with Insight 23, you know he legitimately doesn't control the smoke. He is part of this ritual, but he is not controlling it.
Can I like?
He legitimately didn't know what figure was going to appear. And he seems to think it has something to do with you.
And the figure that appeared is in line with what we learned at the graveyard?
No. This isn't a Carnifex at all.
I'm going to do a religion, actually, to see if I recognize it.
Oh.
Is that our home dog?
Ura knows whose face that is. The moment she sees him, it's Raphael, opening his veins to make the first Crownbreakers.
Oof. Okay.
Sounds great.
Your heart is filled with determination.
All right.
Subtle
Well,
reference.
Subtle reference, subtle. But yeah.
Yeah.
As you leave the cathedral, you feel more sure in your mission.
Do
Oh.
we get like inspiration points?
You get something.
Dope.
You get gold dots. You'll find out.
Gold
Yeah,
dots.
and I guess you guys have found out pretty good find, and Constable Hargrew is gonna be like, you know, I've been by the cathedral a few times. I've never seen an image that crisp. Do you guys have something to do with that?
And yeah, so always going to say, I'm not sure if we had anything to do with it necessarily, but the visage that we saw in the smoke was that of Raphael, the angel responsible for creating the Crownbreakers in the first place.
He says, gods above and below. I'd given up on all that shit after the plague and they couldn't heal it, but wow. Alright. Hargrew legitimately doesn't know what to say, and he's like, if those people's testimonies are correct, it sounds like it has to be the South Islands. I can get us a motor gondola and get you down there, but there's 4 of them, a lot of ground to cover, a lot of snooty assholes who are going to be cautious about any outsiders.
Well, we'll be careful.
How big are each of the South Islands? Like, they're pretty small, right? Like,
They're like maybe they're the size of like a small town.
Well, let's head for the center island.
Okay. Yeah, so Hargrave manages to commandeer a gondola with a strange metal box on the end of it. He smacks a large circular metal like cap that sort of bends down, and then it begins to sputter and spurt, and bubbles and stuff come out of it. And he uses I'm forgetting.
I suppose it's magic of some sort, my character says.
Yep. And yeah, you guys just ride the motor gondola, I assume, under the bridges. 3 bridges pass. Each time the light fades a little bit more. And then as you come out under the 3rd bridge, the sun is set over the mountains in the west.
Ah, it's nice.
And by cover of night, you arrive at a large island which looks more like a beautiful estate with high wrought iron fences and carved gargoyles than it does a town. You come to a pier. There seem to be several powdered gentlemen in wigs. They have rapiers at their sides. They approach and say, "How now? What brings you to our island?" Hargrew gruffly flashes his badge and says, "Business. Get out of the way, wigs." And they say, "Very well. We shall moor Sir's gondola. There will be a fee." And he says, yeah, charge to the apartment. And you guys are docked. The island has several prominent features towards the center. There's manor houses all over it. There's parks all over it. But at the center, there's sort of a built-up area. Seems to be like a 2-story wrapping shopping area. Kind of barren. There's also a complex that Hargrew points out as the bathhouses.
Rather decadent. Would there be anywhere for us to go to ask around local dealings, maybe local disappearances?
I will say
bathhouses are pretty good for that sort of thing.
I would say upon the road, you come upon a drunken looking elvish woman.
Nope.
And she's rose cheeked. She's kind of like leaning under a tree, and she's like, "Oh, hey there. Oh, you're Crownbreakers, aren't you?
Yes, we are.
What an exotic delicacy. Have you been to the party?
What party?
Party.
Oh, it's East Harbor Company's big event. They've just bought out every dock.
Oh, well then, it sounds like the party we were supposed to go to.
She's like, oh, it's quite the party if you can stomach the company.
Whereabouts might we, yeah, what are the directions? I left my paper,
She gesticulates towards the center of the island, and you can see the sort of a bathhouse complex, and she says, the one towards the north. Hiccup?
Thanks.
Can I maybe roll insight or something to tell like
Yeah,
what she meant about the docks comment?
Yeah, roll insight.
Ah, shit.
I guess they bought a whole bunch of docks.
Alright, let me do an insight check too. Oops. I'm forgetting that I can't move this unless it's full screen. Okay, up we go, and yep,
All right, Aurora tells that between her comment about if you could stomach the company and how she should have said the thing about all the docks and stuff, that doesn't sound like it should be possible. It sounds like something really not above board had to have happened.
yeah,
Possibly relating to the fact that the whole city got gutted by a plague.
Oh, fuck. There's a serious corruption scandal, but
Yeah. You guys, I assume you say your goodbyes to her and head your way up?
Yeah.
You judge yourself maybe 5 miles out, when all of a sudden, a wave hits you. An angel is just crowned up.
Oh, like crowned up or is like nearby?
Crowned up.
Oh shit! In what direction?
Coming from the bathhouse.
Fucking
Oh,
full
nice.
sprint. Let's go.
Okay. You start to see people running out of the bathhouse and screams in the distance.
I'll use my urchin feature of, I think it's called City Secrets.
Is that the one that lets you navigate urban terrain faster?
Yes.
All right, so you duck in between the alleys and the ways, and you find a way through the back market, and you run into a guy's cabbage cart, and he says, "My cabbages!" And you arrive. Hargrew says, "I'll do what I can to keep order here, but I think this is y'all's show."
Indeed.
sounds like it.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna.
Can we try to stealth in, please?
Yes. Roll stealth.
Okay. Go for it.
Okay, very interesting.
I mean, I guess I'll play along because I'm not that jerk party member, but I'm like, why are we doing this? Why are we sneaking?
Hello.
Well, I mean, if you guys sneak in and I draw attention, that means you guys get the advantage.
Okay. I guess we sneak. I'm a sneaky girl.
Yeah, holy shit. And Edwin, you want to go in loud and proud?
Yeah, sure. That works for me.
Can I, out of character, real quick? What class is that one?
He's actually a rogue monk,
Okay.
but I figure my logic is because of loud and proud that makes him the target.
You pretty quickly find where the source of the epicenter is. There's some blood leading into the North Bathhouse where the East Harbor Company's party was said to be.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, whoa. That's
There's blood in the gurgling, warmed waters. The waters are filtered in and out of the bathhouse, so it's not totally spraying across the pool. but you're also seeing bodies. Headless
Headless.
bodies. You sense something wrong in this place, but also right. Like it wants to take away all of the bad things about you. And it's the water. It's in the water. Make a wisdom save, everyone.
Interesting. What would be the name of those potions that I have, by the way?
Potions of enlargement?
Yeah, enlargement. Cool. I'm just trying to find the spell in the book.
It's called
Yeah, I like
enlarge/diminish.
Dope.
And it lasts 1 minute.
That should be more than enough.
And alright, so
Stats of the bow. Did you
God
ever
damn, what's with my rolls?
the stats of the bow.
the big one.
Let me find the character who shot it.
Yeah, you can take your time on that if you want. It doesn't need to be right now until we're actually in combat.
Where was that fucking angel?
Although I do want to kind of take it before combat starts.
Fuck. Oh, it would have been under Evanspire. Tuscar Custos. That.
Yes, that one.
And if you mouse over, it'll tell you what it is, but it's... Yeah, it's 2d6 is the primary damage when it's wielded by a large creature, and it does 2d4 radiant.
Nice. Thank you. I'm going to add that while we're talking.
Alright, so there's lots of headless bodies in here. And so Edwin and Soon just get the sense that you don't know where the angel is, but you know they're nearby. But Aura...
Like, definitely within this room, or?
Yeah, but Aura sees clearly. It's in the water.
Interesting. The angel is in the water. Is it invisible?
No. Want to roll perception to try and see it?
Oh, yeah. Let me do that. Perception.
By the way, there's also some bodies floating in the water.
Yep, that makes sense. Oh, I do not see it.
Well,
but I know
currently,
it's
we just see nothing in this room, like beside bodies.
So I'm gonna announce that it's in the water.
You guys
but I don't...
roll perception with advantage when you know it's in the water.
Okay.
Oh, cool.
Oh, jeez.
Soon can tell that there's like some sort of like faint glowing coming from the center, but it's kind of covered by bodies. But Edwin sees right by it. And you see what's more? He sees where all the heads are.
No shit.
Oh, Jesus.
What does he see with his special eyes?
He sees this.
Oh my god.
Yes. The angel's body seems to be made up of heads. Swirling,
What?
shifting heads
Oh.
that sink in and out of its flesh.
Only a deranged mind would ever think to draw that.
Yeah, shout out to Pat. And the Carnifex spotted emerges from the waves. And it sees Edwin. And I guess it'll roll. It's probably not going to see you. But... Does an 18 beat either of your stealths? No, it does not. So it sees Edwin, and it says, Crownbreaker, sinful one, why have you come to face me alone? Or have you come for salvation? And he, like, flicks out his axe. Deliverance.
Would these be covered, by the way?
Yes.
Like,
There are pillars. Yeah. It's half cover.
Okay.
There are pillars in the corner of the room. Yeah. So
Gotcha.
yes, the Carnifex is talking right to Edwin. What does Edwin say?
I imagine he'd say he came to understand for which crimes these people were sentenced.
He says, "Ah, you see, after much enlightened discourse with the dragons and my fellow angels, I have come to a realization. Sentencing is cruel, my friend. These beings, shackled by sin, don't need a harsh and impersonal judgment. What they need is to be free of their sins. That is why I have become a sin eater. I have consumed all their wrongs. You notice that his light flickers a little bit dimmer than the average angel. I have taken all that is wrong with them. Soon as a ghost in the night. Yeah, you come to like one of the towel changing rooms. Soon as it's covered. It's a brutal scene. Yes, but these sinners, they had such greed in their hearts when they connived and orchestrated all of those deaths, locking the poor into squalid conditions. They did not know the plague that would come for them, but the plague was part of their plans all along. With their rivals and the poor and middle class hollowed out, they made their move. They had gathered all of the wealth of the city's ports through cheating and violence, murder and mayhem, and they would grow even fatter and wealthier on it and subvert what representation their new government affords them.
As he's talking,
Soon just gonna walk out and like pop him.
well, I was gonna say, could I do the thing? Can I dip my weapon into the water and freeze it?
Yes. He will probably notice you, and that will probably be initiative, but yes.
I mean,
Oh my god, I don't know how I did it, but I accidentally deleted all of my attacks.
Wait. Are you sure? Wait. Are you sure you deleted them and you didn't just minimize?
I clicked a clipboard thing and it disappeared. I'll write about it, don't worry. My character is going to doff a one of her enlargement things. If you're dipping your bow into the water,
no, it's a pistol.
Yeah, if you're doing that, I'm gonna doff one of my dons.
Now, just really quickly,
Like Aurora, like suddenly like grows. She feels every muscle in her body tense and tighten as her bones seek freedom, and she becomes a big coral.
Yeah.
Just really quickly, does this require me to keep the weapon in the water, or?
I think it just freezes it as an instant effect. Yes.
The way you wrote it, at will the weapon sheathed in a terrible icy cold that deals an extra 1d6 points of cold damage. The cold does not harm the wielder. In this state, it freezes liquids around it into ice in a 15 by 15 cube, and that's all you wrote.
While that is activated, it will freeze liquids around you in a 15 by 15 cube.
So, my question is,
if you're standing here, the liquid out here will be frozen. It's not like you will make the ice melt by moving away, but it is warmed water, so it will begin to melt on its own in the pool.
Gotcha.
All right. So
he's like in the water though, yeah.
He's like
he's above it.
His feet are on the water, like his shins.
Okay.
He's hovering basically.
If you saw me when I grew.
No, you're too stealthy.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna need to His perception was an 18, but let's recheck that.
No, wait, you're okay. I mean, yeah, whatever. Your stuff was like a 22 before, right?
Yeah, but she has to re-stealth.
Oh,
too,
right,
like,
because
She just drank she just became large. Like she just became like 4 times
Yeah,
the size of the map.
know.
So
Yeah, I'm gonna say that I'm actually like. Let's see. I guess I'd probably be
I don't
probably
think you
behind
fit
one of
there.
these pillars then.
You
If
can't
I
really
was
yeah,
fit
like
behind
you're like awkwardly like your arms have to like hug the pillar, and you're like, uh-oh, and the area behind the pillar is treated as difficult terrain for you. You're not
Okay.
really yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna do that and dip my my gun into the water and freeze it.
All right. Can you draw an ice square in the area that would be affected?
I absolutely can. One moment.
Oh, before combat breaks out, I'm gonna grab another drink.
Oh, if the level 20 will let me, I can. Alright, here we go. Yeah, like that, right? I mean, it doesn't matter. It's just the water, right?
Yeah.
So that.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So the Carnifex is a bit frigid.
Is he like? Does he do anything?
He tries to break free, but for some reason, like his toes are just kind of stuck a little, and he's like, yeah. And also, as you freeze the ice, you see something very strange. You see frozen visages all across the ice,
Oh.
and they move.
Jesus.
They dance over the surface of the ice, and it looks like they give out silent shrieks of terror, dread, and pain.
Yeah, let's not touch the water.
Are we rolling initiative?
Yeah, oh, this is initiative time. Yeah.
Yeah, that's initiative time. Woo! Okay, this is fucked.
Yeah.
God damn, what is with my rolls today?
Roll 20
mine
is
very
not
much
favoring you.
It doesn't seem to favor this character. The other one, though.
You mean the one in my campaign?
The investigator, yeah.
Yeah, I
Ooh,
think next time, next one is gonna be Lee doing a game. It's gonna be really fun. New characters though.
level 3s, yeah.
Like, would that have been a surprise round considering we're stealth? Like freezing the water?
Well, surprise is a condition in 5.
It technically works different in 5e.
Yeah.
I think it's
Okay.
isn't it kind of like a surprised creature doesn't act or something?
Well, here.
Yeah, I'm looking
But
at it right now.
Have we
yeah.
sufficiently surprised the angel that we get one off on him?
Yeah. Well, or what's your dexterity?
My dexterity is.
If you are surprised, you can't move or take an action on your first turn of the combat, and you can't take a reaction until that turn ends. A member of a group can be surprised even if the other members aren't. That's all it says. So yeah, you can't take an action on the first turn of combat.
No.
I have a +2 to
You can't move
dexterity.
or take an action, sorry.
Hmm?
Say it
Alright.
again, Pat, sorry.
No, sorry, I have a +2 to dexterity, Lee.
Yeah, I was checking to see who had the bigger dex, and it is the Carnifex.
Ah. Rip. Kind of surprising considering I'm a ranged character, but you know.
Alright. I would say that the Carnifex is I'll call him surprised.
He did not see this, so that is kind of valid.
He did see Edwin, but you know.
Yeah, but I'm not the reason he's surprised.
Yeah, it's because of the freezing. Alright, yeah, so the Carnifex can't make an action and or move.
And he's already crowned up at this point, right?
Yeah.
He's been crowned up, but he's darker than most angels we've fought.
Yeah, different. His light simmering more blue. It is Uradusk's turn.
Okay, well, Laura Dusk is now giant, and she's going to draw her mighty binding bow that she acquired from the angel atop the ceiling, sorry, the angel that was sealing the demon. And she's going to draw this back and let loose a binding blast. So we need this angel to make a DC 18, if that hits, assuming an 18 hits.
An 18 does hit.
We already knew the...
They pass their save.
That makes sense. Still, though, they will take 10 piercing and 4 radiant, right?
So, yeah, so they take 12 because they're resistant to radiant as an angel, but yes.
Smart.
So that's Ura Dusk's turn, or does she have an extra attack?
I don't think she has an extra attack, does she?
No, she's a warlock. Actually, I couldn't think of it.
Yeah, I think we're good here.
Edwin Gewer.
Okay. Let's see here. Ruler.
And when you attack, you're no longer stealth. He notices the giant woman who's behind that pillar, and he's like, "How the fuck did I miss that shit?" It's like Clifford the big red dog is in this room.
Salad. My character's not rightly sure how he missed it either, but you know.
I assume
anything.
Edwin can walk on the ice, no? Or
Yeah, he just doesn't have enough.
no, I was just wondering, like if that's what was okay.
Yeah.
Like how stable is the ice is the question.
That's a good question. If you're not there maintaining it magically, then it'll become a lot less stable.
Let's see here. Here we go.
That is a miss.
Okay, second shot.
That's a hit.
Cool.
All right, and I'm assuming you do get the sneak attack damage.
Yes. So 21.
Nice. All right, and is that Edwin's turn?
Yeah.
Wait.
Soon.
Why is your sneak attack 2d6?
Level.
We're like 8th level, aren't we?
I'm multi-class.
Oh, right. Okay, sorry. Derp.
Just reference both of the die always multi.
Wow, Edwin, your parents let you have 2 sneak attack dice?
Yeah.
So soon, it's your turn.
Yeah, so you're telling me if I go here, that the ice is going to disappear?
It's going to begin to act like regular ice surrounded by warm bath water.
It will not continue to be magically maintained.
Yeah. Okay. How far is this? That's like that's 10 feet, right? So like, okay. What if I took one step back? And then I'm gonna fire Admin. What do I want to shoot him with? Let's go with yield reliable for now. Oh, it feels bad.
Yeah, so that's
we have advantage, right? Because I'm coming from south.
Oh yeah, you're right. Although I think he might have noticed, but yeah. 17 hits.
Cool. And I will roll my sneak attack as well.
Yeah, that gun hits. 9 and then a 15.
Nope. And I'll use my bonus action to attack him as well.
Alright.
Oh, feels bad.
Alright, so it's the Crownflex's turn. He's gonna roll a strength save with advantage. Yeah, he breaks free of the ice, soars across the room, hurls an acceptance at Edwin, and Edwin makes a DC 16 charisma save if he wants to try and half this damage. but an arc of souls flows from the Carnifex's many faces and reaches your head, entering through your nostrils and ears. It flows up into your brain.
Does this count as a projectile?
That's an interesting question. Would something like a firebolt or an Eldritch Blast count as a projectile?
Let me check here.
I think that would.
I would say a firebolt would. I don't know about Eldritch Blast.
I mean, like, I wouldn't, like, wait, this is the monk thing to, like, grab a missile, right?
Yeah.
You can't grab this, homie.
You can't grab radiant energy.
That's going to be a no from me, dog. The souls are not stopped by your hand.
Oh, fair enough.
Oh wait, so me walking back, you just let him break through that, or did he make a save for it? Oh, he did make a save.
He made a save. He did an advantage because he didn't have the magical maintenance on it. He rolled a 22.
Well, he rolled a 22 anyway, so who cares?
Alright, that is a roll of 15, but what is your modifier on a charisma save?
Oh, charisma. My charisma is +1.
So, oh yeah. You hit right on. So rather than 13 psychic damage, you take 6.
You did say Dex though.
No,
I did. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah.
Sorry, sometimes I
maybe
misspeak.
at
But the Carnifex flies in behind Soon, lands, and swings his axe. Deliverance.
No, that misses.
Yep. And so it gets 2 attacks per action. It had 2 actions this turn. Its first one was breaking free. Its second one was shoot swing. So, you know, it does about half. Yeah, you know that. It's Aura's turn.
Okay. Aura's going to. She's going to step out of here. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, and that is considered difficult terrain to you because you're a big girl.
Yeah, that's why she's counting them as 2.
I wanted to use my reaction.
What do you want to use your action to do?
This. So I'm just gonna go. That far away. Cool. Sorry. Now you go. Not bad.
All right, Ura Dusk, it's your turn. You've moved.
Right. Fire that binding bow. Hey, hit. Gotta make that 18 charisma. I do not have advantage, I don't believe. So sadly, that critical. Whew, that critical. Damn it.
Yeah.
Making that charisma. Okay, so that's 6 piercing plus 4 radiant.
For 8 overall, yep.
I'm starting to think this is weaker than my Eldritch Blast.
It's because you rolled a 1 on one of your 2d6.
Valid.
It'll average out to better damage.
Probably.
Ura Dusk's turn. Edwin Goer.
Cool. Let's check my movement here real quick. Oh yeah, I can make that easy. I'll move in here.
Is that for an attack of opportunity or no? No, I guess
No, because I'm not moving out of his space, yeah.
Yep, you do. Sorry.
Stabby.
Stabby whammy. That's a miss.
No. That's also a miss. Fuck. Okay. Well, yeah. Do I need to hit in order to activate?
By the way, when you roll that 7 with your dagger,
yeah,
you actually just roll that again as you feel an angelic hand guide your blade.
Oh,
fair enough.
wow.
Well,
What? But no.
do I need to hit in order to activate Flurry of Blows? I do not.
No, yeah, you can just pop that key point and
So
pugilism.
Dagger. Just 14 hit.
Set AC 17.
Yeah.
Okay, well, 2 attacks at this level, so 1 more.
Hey.
Finally.
Yeah, so like, you're basically trying to like stab him, but every time you do,
Yeah.
it goes into the mouth of another sinner, and like there like these spurts blood, and you're not actually hurting him. But finally, you find a place between the pulsating skulls, and you just sink it into him. Roll that damage.
Cool. Well, there are no other creatures within 5 feet of him, so sneak attack, and bam.
So wait, so does that mean there is no sneak attack?
Yeah, it's just
No. There's if there are no other creatures within 5 feet of him, rakish audacity gives me sneak attack.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then so additionally the 11.
So 16.
All right. And that it was
And
Edwin's turn.
that's it for me.
Yeah, soon it's your turn.
Yeah. So okay, question: can we walk diagonally across here?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So I'm first gonna
lying in
move
the pool. You can
here.
jump over it a little bit.
And you have stupid high speed, right?
Yeah, he's got like
I-
50.
Yeah, so like I just went like this and then
I will
this,
say.
and then this.
Oh,
and
yeah,
then-
yeah, good.
And then I'm gonna make 2 attacks on the
Carnifex?
Yes. And don't worry, I'm keeping track of my ammo. So that's 1. That is a miss. And then 2. Yeah.
On the money with Winter. And I guess you saw the thing activated, so there's a bit of ice over here as well.
Oh, sure.
Actually, yeah, as you basically like Jack Frost.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say I guess I could just walk over the water.
Yeah, because you're basically
Like,
Jack
I just
Frosting
go
all
like
around you.
this. Like yeah. Yeah, that's my turn.
Sorry, roll 20 just being dumb as fuck.
So it's 6 plus 4, so 10, 31 damage.
All right. Oh, does that set it under the number that I think it does?
Hmm.
No, by 1. Okay, so it's the Carnifex's turn.
Oh god.
The Carnifex turns and says, "What rakish audacity! But come, I see the sin in your eyes. Let me free you. Let me give you," he raises his axe, "deliverance." He spends his first action swinging deliverance twice at Edwin. That's a miss
Oh,
and a
God.
crit. So, that is a 21 folled by
That's
an
30,
11.
like 30 damage.
That's 32 damage.
And he's
11
gonna.
plus a 10.
His next action is also going to be attack. He's going to make a swing of deliverance. Does 16 hit your AC?
Hits.
He is going to do 18. He is going to make. I missed when you guys had tanks in this group, but both of those guys just haven't been available. That's another swing. He didn't have advantage, thank God. So, but
Seriously.
he will provoke an op by moving into cover here. So if anyone wants to op,
Yes. Let's see here. Where is that? Dagger.
Oh,
I
just
missed
try.
by 1. Yeah.
missed by 1.
Just try, damn.
All right, Aura Dusk.
Then
You're in a weird situation where you are bigger than an angel.
4, 5. You can move past me. I'm gonna let you. Obviously, if you need to jump by me, we're friends. But I'm gonna fire that binding bow.
Yeah. Oh.
Got cover there. Some kind of cover.
Does that?
I'm gonna give him half. But that still hits.
Well, wait. I could move one more.
But you'd be moving into Edwin.
You can't enter space in Edwin.
Yeah, you can't enter space in this.
Well, I could do this too.
Then you're in melee.
Then you'd have disadvantage because
Fuck.
Don't worry. The
You're
21. The 21 hits. Raoul Damage.
There we go. I'm gonna need some charisma save though.
We are making charisma. I haven't been checking my Kindle. I'm so sorry.
DC 18.
I still
So
have my
does that mean
laptop.
you win or I do?
You he got an 18, so he passes.
Okay. So that's going to be then just for the
Just barely.
just the 11 damage.
All right.
Sorry, not 11.
So he took 3 instead of 5 from the radiant.
Yep. Okay. So that would be 9.
All right. And do you have any movement left to like step back or? Do you stay there?
I'll take a step back.
All right. Edwin, it is your turn.
So.
Oh wait, hold on. Sorry, something instantly happens before Ur even steps back that I need that will impact your decision making. So you trigger his providence when he goes below half. Eye of Salvation. They so basically all of the eyes. So the eyes on his body had sort of been like sleepy and groggy. Now they all shoot wide open and his mouth is open and they exude the strange glowing blue aura with piercing eyes of the damned all over in the gaze of sin, but the eye of salvation within that gaze of sin stares out at you.
Huh. Okay, well.
That's unfortunate.
Crown still gotta get broke.
True.
Yep. So it is Edwin's turn.
Right, so I'm gonna do me a silly here. Although it won't allow me to attack this turn just because of the nature of stowing and unstowing weapons. So I'm gonna tuck away the dagger and the crossbow. And I don't have stats for these, so you're gonna have to help me out with this. I take out the Blood Drinker Scimitar and the sword I got from the angel in the library.
You got a Kindling Blade?
Yes.
I know the stats on the Kindling Blade, but who had the Blood Drinker's Scimitar?
The vampire lord in the
Alright, Strakal Vagul.
Yes.
So his Blood Drinker Scimitars, they did it was 1d6 slashing, 1d4 necrotic, and it was.
I need that sweet HP so bad right now.
Yeah, and I think it was a because the necrotic is transferred. And I think it was a +1 weapon.
Cool, and the kindling blade.
Kindling blades. Lots of people have quick kindling blades. Let me just find any one of them. Did Carkellian have one of them, or was he Godglaive guy? No, he had the singing chakrams.
Bullshit's character had one.
Yeah, Bullshit's character did. So I could actually just look at Vitaly and see if he's got his attack in here with it. He does not have it in there. Apparently, he just didn't want to use one. He was a polearm guy, to be fair. Gotta be in like the Angels folder, right?
Well, while you find it, I'm gonna move over here.
A Kindling Blade. A Kindling Blade is a +1 longsword, basically.
Oh, is it? Oh.
Well, so hold on, wait a minute. Well, it's versatile, but with 2 hands, it's a D10 weapon. And it also does it also does D10 radiant.
Is it heavy?
No, it is not considered heavy.
Okay. In theory, I should be able to use it then. All right. So yeah.
All right.
I'll take those 2 out, and then I'll move to like tuck against the wall because stowing and taking out the weapons just takes up my action. So.
Okay, so that's Edwin's turn.
Yeah.
It is the Soon turn.
Yeah. From here, could I hit him?
No, you.
Well, I would get cover there, or no?
You would have 2/3 cover.
You would have what? Sorry.
You would have 2/3 cover.
From this arrow where I'm pointing at?
Yeah.
Damn. Okay.
Because like he would have like this
Wait,
whole like ass
can I
thing
just, like-
basically.
Can I just like
Yeah, you can move across water, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can basically globe trot across the water. That would only be a half cover.
Okay. Cool.
Alright,
Let's
so
go. Is here half cover as well? Would that be also?
yeah, as you cross over it, you see the various faces in the ice, and where you step, it seems like as you've pass over it, cracks begin to form 15 feet behind you, as if though something's following you through the water but can't quite break through.
God
Maybe.
damn.
Let me just be here then instead.
The water's so shady.
And I will make 2 attacks against him, and I am going to roll the whiz save. DC 16. Okay, cool. Hell. Okay. So am I not able to attack him then?
Oh, you're able to attack, but you
Take damage, right?
Yeah.
Oh no, 1d4.
Yeah, actually, you feel an angelic heart beat within your chest, and you re-roll that save.
Cool. I hate this game. Dungeons and Dragons.
You can still make your attacks. It's just you're going to take a 1d4 on all of your attack rolls.
Yeah.
So even if you've got a 4, that's a hit.
Okay, cool. I do not have sneak attack though, because no one's in range for him. And that's a whiff.
Oh no, winter.
Bang, bang. Okay, that's my turn.
Okay. So the Carnifex steps out around the corner and is going to use its first action to swing Deliverance twice at Ura. Wow, what the fuck? This...
Big sad. Holy.
Thank God.
Hold on.
Yeah, seriously, that thing's kind of broke.
Wait, it says +0/+0. What?
Hold. Oh my God.
As your text.
Well, it was reading correctly. It was saying +10.
Oh
my God. All right.
It was earlier,
Yeah, earlier it was working fine.
You accidentally.
Well, whatever. It rolled that, so you get lucky that time.
Give me the +10. Yeah.
Well, I mean,
No.
okay, so if it had the
yeah.
plus,
No, it was
17.
It was reading +0 earlier.
it has been fucked this whole time. Well, anyway, so hard mode begins, and so the first set of attacks miss, and then
Well, no, like a 17 and then a 20, you know?
yeah,
I mean,
but I don't
No,
know
you
if
can
it's
say all 4 hit, or whatever the turn is, or whatever the expression is.
I as a DM, I do feel a little bit dirty about
Don't feel dirty. I was wondering why it was +0 last time too. So.
All right, well, whatever. So the first 2 do hit, but the second 2 don't. Unless what's your AC? 16, yeah.
My AC goes a little like this. 16.
Oh my God. 18, 7, and 4. So yeah, he takes some meaty chunks out of Big Girl Aurora. And he sort of stays standing there. And it is Ura's turn.
Okay, so I'm in melee range. And guess who really doesn't like being in melee range? This girl. I'm gonna cast Eldritch Blast, which I deleted from my fucking character sheet moments ago. So I'm gonna tell you what.
We can add it right from roll 20 into your sheet.
Just roll it. Oh yeah, you can also do that. That's true.
Yeah, so
It is a spell.
I think it was I have a +4 on it, so it's a roll. It's a roll.
No. Like you can just add it straight to your sheet, and then you can roll it with all the proper modifiers and stuff.
Wow. What did I? Okay, so it should be.
Pat, it's okay.
What?
Lee's just gonna add it to your sheet for you. It literally will take a second.
do you do the thing? Do you do the thing where you add charisma or no?
Yeah,
To your damage?
not on this one because I'm using the repelling blast.
Wait, Lee, you don't even need to. You don't even need to type it in. Just drag it from the compendium.
I did, but it doesn't come as an attack. It only comes as a description spell.
Oh, that's sick. Nice. Oh, hey, look at that. Yeah, so I'm using repelling blast, so he's blasted back 10 feet.
Oh, okay. So you look at him to attack him, right?
Hell yeah.
Do you take disadvantage or do you make the wisdom save?
Oh, yeah, sorry. I'm gonna do wisdom save. Oh, why am I doing roll 20 shit? I can just click my button because I'm prepared, totally prepared. Woohoo.
Big fail.
Did that work or no?
No, you failed.
Nope. You feel an angelic presence descend, and you roll that one more time.
Ah, cool. Thank you.
Ooh,
What did I do?
Did
just
you?
barely pass.
Yeah, that's on the money, isn't it? DC 16.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you are immune to this effect for the next hour, so you could attack him freely. You make that hit, roll that damage.
All right, and since I'm using Eldritch Blast, I get to do that one more time. So that was 2 damage the first time. Let me cast Eldritch Blast a second time, and this time I'm going to use it with my Charisma as a bonus. So, but 14 probably doesn't hit. And I don't have disadvantage.
14
or
doesn't
I
hit.
don't have advantage.
But do you push him back with the first one?
Yes, I push him back 10 feet.
All right, he's pushed back 10 feet.
Sweet. And I'm going to refresh roll 20 because it's being weird.
All right, and do you want to move or?
I can't see the map at the moment, but I do think I want to move back a little bit. Maybe just 1 square. Okay, so now I can see the map.
So like down to there?
So I want to be here.
Okay. It is Edwin's turn.
No, I want to be here, not down.
Okay, so you silly getting close. I am not going to take his disadvantage, so I'll roll for wisdom now. Normal. God damn it. Okay, so let's see here. Let's do this.
We lost Pat.
Yeah, what happened?
Pat shipped down. Pat has fallen in action. Rip Pat.
That did not work.
Pat's back.
Yeah,
yeah, I see some weird thing like underscore NPC underscore damage.
Yeah, that was me trying to use the Blood Drinker's Scimitar, but it was all like, nope.
I'm glad you're not the only one seeing weird shit. I was wondering what that was with. What was up with that?
What's up with all these Johns? I'd like to point out, we are now approaching the time in Crownbreakers when I would usually like to start the fight by, so we're doing good for time.
Yeah, we are. Where are we going for time?
Well, let me add it as an attack.
Preparation. 8.
No, it will not.
Just what is your to hit with it? Just add it to a d20 for now, and then figure it out until your next turn.
With the scimitars, what is that, Dex?
Yeah, it's a Dex
Yeah,
weapon.
10x, yeah.
Okay, so +3.
Are you proficient?
No, +6. +6.
Yeah.
So d20 plus 20.
That's a 19. You hit.
Cool. That's without the plus. So, and then what's the damage on that sucker?
D6, I think, on a regular scimitar. I don't know about that one, but
+1. No, it is not letting me do that for some reason.
Wow, huh? Is it
Yeah.
like? Did you put a plus into one of the boxes?
No, it won't even let me. I have to manually add it for it to work, apparently. So, what's the damage on it? It doesn't seem to tell me.
A scimitar. So it's a +1 scimitar. So 1d6 +1, and then the necrotic is 1d4. The straight 1d4.
Okay, so and then.
And then he loses 3, and you gain 3.
Oh, thank God! Every little bit helps. I'll attack with that again. That's d20 plus 6 to hit.
Nice.
Plus 1. And then d4.
Yes, but like, I don't know if that will work with, fuck it. Pat, you might have to mute roll 20, but I'm gonna play the angel fight song.
Wait. Let me move roll 20.
I can't even. It's already playing. I can't even hear it through you.
Oh,
You should be fine.
cool. I guess
Yeah.
I've unmuted it.
So I gain 7 HP then, thank God. 4, 5, yeah, 7 total.
I think I muted it a while ago in like another
Perfect.
episode.
Oh,
And then I will use a key point to do. God, what is that thing called?
Flurry of blows?
No. I'll put it into.
dodging one.
Yeah, the dodging one.
I have no clue what it's called. Sorry, I never play monks.
It's just all it does is it gives you the benefits of defense, but as a bonus action, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll mark you as defense. He'll have disadvantage to attack you.
Yeah.
And is that until your next turn, or is that against the first attack until your next turn?
I believe it's until my next turn.
Soon. Yeah, people just rarely use that ability, so I don't know it off the top of the head, even though it's basic and you'd think more people would. Anyway, soon.
Yeah, but people like hitting things.
True.
Yeah, next turn.
Yeah, so because I'm dumb and never play a character that usually has more than one weapons, does it take me an action to swap my guns out?
I think that can count as an air quotes movement action.
Okay, cool. Is it? Yeah, it's a free action. Wouldn't it be then?
Yeah, but I don't think the language free action exists in 5th edition.
It doesn't.
And remind me, it's a full action to reload, right? Or did you say I could do it on a bonus action? I totally forget at this point. It's been too long since I played.
For your pistols, it's I think it is a full action, and that's why you have so many.
Yeah, gotcha. Okay, so I'm just gonna blammo. Feels bad. One off.
Wait, do you get some sort of rogue shit for having a friendly within 5 feet?
Just I get sneak attack. You don't get any kind of
Oh, it doesn't give you
advantage or anything. Yeah.
All
Not
right.
that I can think of.
All right. So you pop death. Do you have another gun loaded, or?
I mean, can I? I was gonna say, can I shoot the same gun on the bonus? Did you count that or?
Wait a minute.
No, it's an offhand, right? It's an offhand, right? Yeah.
It's offhand, yeah. Oh, so your other two totally dry? No.
Yeah, I did 3 attacks of both of them.
Okay. So that
Okay,
was...
well, they both miss.
All right. It's the Carnifex's turn.
I'll just move here in my direction. With my movement, sorry.
All right. He's gonna, for his first act, deliverance.
1 hits.
Wow, funny that he's hitting more often now that he has a bonus, dude.
Yeah, I really fucked up putting in that character's stats, unfortunately. But I mean, hey, it worked out well for you guys.
Yeah, it did.
Like a crown was gonna get broken no matter what.
Yeah.
Yeah, for his second act.
Both hit.
Well, no, the second one's a 15.
Yeah.
Because remember, he has disadvantage.
Yeah,
You're dodging. So 1 hit for 15. And he says, "You stand strong, monk, but I will set you free to be stronger than ever after this." And it is Uradusk's turn. It looks like Carnifex is really carving the fuck out of your boy Edwin here.
Well, I could.
Yeah, you can pass through us.
Right.
At least you can pass through a friendly space, right?
I think this is probably where I need to be. But I really can't help you much with the. I mean, I could toss you a healing potion, but I feel like killing this guy is probably gonna make you safe anyway. So
I'm gonna just keep hitting him.
Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and attack. Did I just? Oh, wait. Should I push him back? Would that be beneficial to you?
I mean, honestly, I can just disengage whenever.
I can
So
do that.
So just
Fair
keep
enough. I
dacking.
guess I'll just go ahead and use this back.
All right. That's
wait,
a crit. Yeah, click on the top one.
Nice. Yep, and give me a DC 18 charisma save still. We're still doing that. Because we don't stamp.
Oof.
Damn it. Guys got hella charisma.
Wait,
Alright,
you hit
so
2
that's-
attacks, right? So does he have to make it twice?
Now I have one attack.
She what she does is she as a warlock she gets. Wait, as a blade lock, don't you get multiple attacks?
You know what? I don't have the blade lock on my person. I think that's only with my spiritual weapon.
With your
Isn't your
pack weapon?
with
But
your
let
pact
me.
weapon? Can you not
What-
change?
What level are you?
8th or 9th.
I am level 7, right?
No, we're level 8. You're supposed to start at 8 at least. But
Um,
you've done at least 2 sessions, so you should be level 9.
Oh, well, I should be higher up then. I don't know what level I am.
9. Let's say 9.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
level 9. So let's see. Actually, first I could have done earlier, but I found that these curses don't seem to be very beneficial for me. I don't think I get multiple attacks, guys.
I really don't think so. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I don't think so either.
I think I just have a 1.
All right, so you
Either way.
slug him with your bow, and it is Edwin's turn.
Okay. Suppose I should make that wisdom save first.
Oh, I didn't even do that on my turn. Should I do that real quick?
Yeah, make yours. Yeah.
Well, fuck. Whatever.
God damn it.
We
Wait.
suck at saving throws.
Wait, so Edwin, you still have that on you?
At which?
The thing with like the sight, the eye of salvation.
I guess.
All right. So it's your turn.
Okay. So since this is not in the sheet, we have to do this manually again. That's a miss. That's a crit miss.
Shit. You might want to disengage, I'm afraid.
Critical failure.
Oh, what the hell?
Damn. This is a slug battle. So much HP.
Yeah, but that's okay. I don't have to use an action to disengage, so.
He's got his monk
Because-
moves.
Actually, I think it's a rogue thing.
No, it is a rogue thing. Yeah.
Oh, I in in not Alien, I played a monk. who could-
Fancy footwork. During your turn, if I make a melee attack against a creature, the thing can't make attacks of opportunity against me for the rest of my turn. So I could just,
Run away.
I don't have to disengage. I could just move.
Yeah.
Yeet. Just yeet.
Yeah, that's fair.
Alright, it is the Soon turn.
Nice.
Crossbow and knife come back out.
I am going to go here.
Okay.
And fire on him with death once again. And
That's-
finally fucking hit.
That's a hit roll damage.
Cool. Nice. And make it acid damage, please.
And yeah, and then if you want to shoot one more time and then make your save, or
Yeah. Oh, could I make my would I be able to make my save before?
no, it's end of turn.
Okay. Cool. That missed. I feel. Getting closer though.
Alright, yeah, And I think what we agreed on was you can reload like a whole gun as a full action. So you can get back to 2 shots, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Volume.
Well, next time.
Carnifex's turn. That's where you want to end your move, right?
Yep, that's where I want to move. Correct. Yes.
The Carnifex is going to spend his first attack, popping 2 acceptances at soon because it says you should not travel so freely.
They have disadvantage.
Why?
Because of where is it? This feat. So the
Have
first
the
one hits
attack's
me,
damage
second one has
against you.
disadvantage. Is what I'm trying to say. Yeah.
It doesn't impose disadvantage.
Hmm?
That's not what the text says. It says
Oh my god, what am I?
Yeah.
produces to have the attack's damage against you.
I'm looking at the wrong thing. Sorry.
But so do you have something that imposes disadvantage, or?
Yes, I'm trying to find it. Where is it? Here we go. I want to use this feat thing.
Still has a reaction, yeah.
You must use this feature before knowing whether the attack hits or misses.
Not within 30
Oh,
feet
it's
of you,
not.
though.
Shit. Okay, well, fuck, whatever.
Alright.
No, wait, no. No, it reveals your shape-shifting nature within 30 feet of you, but it doesn't. It just says whenever a creature you can see makes an attack roll against you. They don't have to be within 30 feet.
Alright,
Oh, fair
so
enough, yeah.
both of them misses. The ghosts just don't manage to figure out who to haunt because the face is just too different. Carnifex steps up to Aurora Dusk and tries to fell her like a big meaty tree. Deliverance, deliverance. And he says, I'll make you squeal like a pig.
Oof.
Wow. That's ridiculous for an angel to say. My goodness, you must really be corrupted by all those souls of you.
And says, delicious, delicious souls. Or as I call them, gamer fuel. Alright, it's Aurora Dusk's turn.
Really dangerous in his corruption, huh? Alright. So I'm gonna cast Eldritch Blast, and this first one, doing a hit. Yep, that one's gonna be the pushback 10 feet version of Eldritch Blast, which deals 4 damage. And then the second one is going to be with my charisma bonus, which is charisma plus 3. So that's 10. And
it's looking really bloodied, like it's almost out of like HP and such. In the home stretch. It is Edvin's turn.
I'm curious to something now. I can't rightfully fight the thing at the moment, but you said there was like a bunch of bodies around here, eh?
Yeah. Oh,
I'm
I see what you're saying.
Gonna,
I also think I see where he's going with this.
Okay.
I'm gonna take up the kindling blade and soul burn one of the bodies.
Oh, you poke it, the glass slides in, the glass comes out, there's some blood on it. It seems like the resident has left the building by now.
With a shot.
I was thinking something else.
I was thinking something else too.
That's next turn. I'm gonna try that with the blood drinker scimitar.
Alright, Soon's turn.
Okay, I am going to move here for now and reload one of my guns. So yeah, I'm just gonna reload Winter.
Yeah. The
Sorry, what did you say, Pat?
I'm gonna die.
The Carnifex double taps you with acceptance. Both of those hit.
Okay, let me do some charisma saves. That might be like the only good thing out of this. Maybe. Oh, nice.
Alright, so both of those... Okay, so both of the damages are halved. So, 19... 2. So, oh wow, yeah, this is gonna be close. You feel the ghosts, like, coming up into your nostrils and ears and mouth and just attacking your brain, and you're just racked with this acceptance that the Carnifex is really just trying to free you of sin, and wouldn't it be so much better if you just accepted it? But you managed to fight it off. Urodusk's force of personality is too great. She has a score to settle with a particular angel, so she's not going to leave that easy. Unfortunately for her, the Carnifex says, well, I have another way of doing this. Moves forward and activates his other action.
Sullivan.
Swipe, and so with a powerful swing, Urodusk's giant head rotates clean off her body and slams onto the ice.
What?
So it's just.
Have you not been
instantly
reading the
dead?
Deliverance Ticks this entire time?
No, I've been reading it, but so she just doesn't get to make any kind of death saves?
So, she's not, okay, so here's the thing. Resurrection magic exists, but it has a timer on it. So so if you have the head and the body, and you can get them to someone who can resurrect it within, a very short window of time, and you have the resources, a lot of money, you can get a resurrection. But the timer has just begun, and yeah, there's not going to be any death saves. It decapitates when it reaches them to 0.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
Like
I'll
how
be honest, I haven't been reading it, so...
It's kind
I
of like
was
how
reading it. I just thought like
the kindling
I thought you
blade
meant,
is
like-
even worse. You can't resurrect someone killed with a kindling blade, and y'all got that. So yeah, no,
Yeah.
no. So he walks out there, and he's just like shrink, and he's like, well, that's one less giantess to worry about. And
Oh, fuck. This is bad.
Yeah, finish him for us. Come on.
Bad for you.
He gets-
Guys, it takes 2, so you guys can't die. Or
he
else
gets
we're
here.
gonna
It would be Urodusk's turn, but and it is now Edwin Gower's turn.
Sorry, wait. Let me just clarify the rules before anything else happens. It takes
Yeah.
2 magical
Yes.
weapons to kill a Crownbreaker, right?
It takes. Okay, here's how it works. Flanking.
It has to be flanking.
It
Okay.
has to be 2 flanking attacks in the same turn.
Okay.
So to do a ranged weapon, you have to point blank him.
No, I understand that. My question was whether I could do it myself with 2 guns.
Hold on.
If you can attack and move, then maybe.
Like, if I could attack, move around him, and then attack again, and hit both, would you be okay with that?
It's never been done before.
Technically speaking, in fiction, they are simultaneous blows. But if it comes down to that,
You cut off simultaneous what now?
in fiction, in theory, they are the idea is that you are both striking the crown at the exact same time to disrupt
Did we
it.
just lose them both?
But, like, can I not just, like,
Refresh.
like reach around both sides of the crown with 2 guns and just at the same time pull the trigger? Okay, we'll wait until Edwin's dead to talk about that.
No. Very core to the conceit of Crownbreakers is there have to be 2 Crownbreakers left standing to win.
Alright, cool.
If Edwin goes down, the only thing left to you is going to be retreat and how many people you bring with you.
Refresh, see if that...
Oh wait, have we lost 12-side guy?
No, he's here. Oh,
Well, I had to refresh to see you guys. I think both had a guy and I got split up.
hello?
Hey, 12-side guy, can you
Yeah.
hear us?
Are you
I
back?
can now.
Cool.
Alright. Yeah.
I
Alright.
have no idea what happened there. Sorry, I got cut off at simultaneous.
Also, soon, roll
Yeah.
wisdom save.
Oh, you're true. Fuck, man. What the hell? My
I will give you advantage because you're not looking at him.
Cool. Yes.
Finally. Alright, it is Edwin Gower's turn. The Carnifex is
Okay.
adjacent to him.
Run, boy, run.
No, Okay, so a moment of meta, like how much HP does he have left?
He got 50.
There's no way I can do that much in one turn.
I could, but I got the hit bonus attacks and get some good damage rolls, but I could potentially do that much.
Ooh. I do have an option here. Let me double check something real quick. I'll make sure what the mechanics are here.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like, all right. So obviously, I can't.
Okay. Aha. Right.
Okay.
I got something. I have something. Right. So. Cool.
All right, that's a hit.
Rakish Dassy, so sneak attack. So 15.
We're blessed by the 69. You do it. I believe in you.
That one misses. So flurry of blows. I'll spend the key.
Definitely spend all the key.
Yeah. All the key must be
That
used.
one misses.
Yeah.
That's a crit.
Big
All
crit.
right.
Big
Don't get the sneak attack on that though. So
As your Kensai weapon punches through its angelic form, you see a golden blade join it, dealing 9 radiant damage, which comes out to 5 damage to the Carnifex.
There's X Machina.
cool. So I'll spend, since it apparently allows me to do this as not an action, weirdly enough.
Hmm.
Where is it here? Here it is.
Yeah. All right. So he's got to make the con save.
Yes. God, please fail. Oh, fuck.
Yeah. Angels are bitches about saves, unfortunately.
Oh, hey, that's fine. That said, I have made a melee attack.
Run.
And so he cannot take an attack of opportunity while I disengage.
How far do you get?
40. Which sadly does not save me, but
Mm-hmm. Soon. It's your turn.
Ooh, my turn.
Also, by the way, Edwin, make a wisdom save.
oh yes.
I'm going to move about this far out, and then pop a shot. Thank Christ.
That's a hit. Roll damage. All right.
That's
All right.
17.
He's almost ready to be fucking downed.
Like he's not in.
He's at 4 HP.
Fuck. Okay.
Yeah, but you can pop him in the same turn that you set him down, though.
Fuck.
Heart misses. Carnifex, you know, all of the faces in it sort of like scream, reach a crescendo as his crown approaches instability and glows a weird backlit blue.
Yeah. 1 second. Okay. I'm gonna move here. I mean, do you want me to roll Charlight? Like, here.
Okay, so you...
Wait, okay. I went.
Oh yeah.
Let me
No.
go.
Okay, guys.
Yeah.
That's fine.
That's way too far. I'm trolling.
so
that's
do you...
okay.
Well, do you want to like power slide across the ice you create? If so, I would allow you to do like an athletics.
Can I do acrobatics instead?
Yes.
Cool. That. So I just want to get like behind this corner.
Behind the corpse, yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, yeah, so Soon runs out on the ice, drops to his knees, power slides right by Uru's giant head, kind of making it spin some more on the ice as he goes by, and then arrives like over her giant legs, trundling over and back here.
I think when I die, I go back to normal height or normal.
I thought it did.
Yes.
Oh, really?
I would have
Oh
seen
my
some
god.
great transformations.
Please deal 4 damage. If you don't die this turn.
Oh, I'm gonna die this turn. There's no way.
I just realized if I hit him again.
Yeah, that's why I was like, why are you son of a bitch?
Well, what? I mean, like,
You haven't taken any damage. You're just leaving me out here
Acquish the
now.
Carnifex pops one
There's literally
acceptance
no reason it would
in
attack
the
me instead of
direction
you.
of Edwin. Make the DC make that charisma save, because that's the difference between whether or not you go down.
I'm hoping that Deus Ex Machina works for this too.
Oh, wait.
But
What?
he's not.
Hold on.
Yeah,
I just realized.
yeah.
Read that text.
The text of my attack.
Yes. The plague mask coated with angel dust.
Oh shit.
True.
Oh shit. Roll me a con save real quick.
Calm.
Actually, pretty boss.
Okay, you sneeze, chewing out a mixture of angel dust and the other shit. You instead only take 9 damage, leaving you at 2.
Thank God. He'll still kill me this turn, but
Yeah. He's the thing is, you haven't hurt him nearly as much as Soon.
I'm hurt way more than soon.
No, you haven't hurt him as much.
I
Yeah,
misheard.
I mean, like, this is one of those like hard moments the DM will have to decide what he does, but I think he probably pops another acceptance.
Oh yeah, no.
Oh
But you're
wait,
not instantly
not
dead,
hit.
right?
he fucking misses you.
I was gonna say, if it's not with the axe, then he's not instantly dead, right?
Yeah,
Hold on,
yeah.
And it missed.
Yeah. So he's gonna come down here. He's gonna trot over his body, and he's gonna be like, "Here's Johnny around the corner at Soon," with a deliverance and a deliverance, both of which are going to hit.
Very correct.
So you are hosed for first and 18, and then
I take half.
Soon's just like,
That's the point of the character. Literally, the goddamn whole character is about not getting hit and taking a little bit.
How do you take half?
When an attack
It's a rogue feature.
you can see hits you with an attack, you can use your reaction to have the attack's damage against you.
One of the attack. So you.
Yeah,
so
the first attack is halved. The first one to hit me.
yeah, I was thinking you'd taken a lot of damage and that's why you were hiding, but no.
No, so you kidding me? Soon just hides it. Ura used to be back there with him. Remember the very first fight you two were in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys just hid back in the pillars while the other boys got with their hands done.
That totally would have worked. I
Yeah,
mean,
so the Carnifex shaves a third of your health with 2 swipes of his axe.
Yeah.
Edwin.
And I'm gonna use my. Oh no, I already used my reaction, right? Okay, cool.
Edwin, by the way, there is a frozen path across the ice, but it is like patchy as the warm water like acts against it.
Okay.
Because Soon's just come over.
Let me check something here real quick. Slow fall. No, that would not work the way I would hope. Oh, that's too bad. That would be really cool to like Wuxia across the ice like I don't weigh anything. Nope. Well, plus I have the crossbow out already, so.
but it's got to be a melee attack, right? It's got to be flanking.
Or point blank.
Yeah, so you gotta.
And they stay up until they're like they don't fall like they're reduced to 0 HP.
Yeah,
right?
even if they're at 0 HP, that's not the end of them. You gotta break that crown.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I can make it, so I'll give you an acrobatics then, I guess.
Alright. Edwin glides artfully across the
Oh,
ice.
thank God.
As steam rises from its edges as the
Come on.
bathhouse,
Yeah.
bloody bathhouse water floods against the magical ice, produced by Soon's angelic gun. Alright, Edwin, what you gonna do?
Dagger. Nope,
You get advantage. You're
Nope.
flanking. You're flanking.
Flanking
Oh,
advantage on both of those.
that's true.
So I guess we'll call that one attack because you roll twice.
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
next
exactly. So,
That's a fucking hit on the money.
And you get sneak attack as well.
All right, but it does. So it doesn't matter. You did. He's at 0. His crown is crackling. Blue lightning bounces all around. Lightning comes out of the eyes and mouths of the skulls as they begin to warp and turn from something humanoid to something alien. Tongues lashed with barbs emerge. It writhes. He just says, "Sit." And it is Soon's turn.
Yeah. So his crown's open, right?
Yeah. Edwin is standing in one of Ura Dusk's thighs. Carnifex is on the other. Because I have just decided to Deus Ex Machina that no, the potion doesn't end until the time, even if you die.
That is tough.
Here's the big reveal. Either we win on this roll or we lose, probably. Oh, thank Christ.
Fucking
Okay.
yeah. Alright, Winter. Appropriate that the gun that created all the ice memes finishes this. It strikes, and you reduce him to it's weird. It's not all angel dust that comes out. 8.
Oh wait, did we kill him? Because his attack brought him to 0. No.
And then you hit, because yeah, I count that. So like,
Oh, you count that as one that hits? Okay, cool.
yeah. So 8 pouches of angel dust and 3 motes of sin. And the Carnifex is ashed, and it doesn't have any. It has no words as it is unmade. Just a horrible scream before everything cracks and bends in on itself. The face is lingering longer than angels normally do. Before the ash summons, and yeah, you are just sort of in a bloody bathhouse, bloody icy bathhouse with a decapitated giant. The giant, after like that minute, has
that was the last bullet I had for any of my magical weapons. So if that didn't hit, we lose.
I bolt for the head.
all right. Edwin has Ura's head. I assume you guys are also going to pick up Ura's body.
Sure.
After it gets.
I mean, I'll let you do that. Have fun.
What the fuck?
You are
It's gonna
in.
take both of us, but
Wait. What about the angel dust?
we grab it all. Worry
There's
about
8
that
pouches.
later. Yeah, grab it all. Worry about that later.
Okay, I'll take it all.
All right, so you grab the dust, and you guys are outside. Constable Hargrew is trying to keep Ori. Turns around, and he sees he's like, "Did you do it?" And then he sees that Ura's been decapitated. He's like, "Gods above, how long?"
Like
Like
A minute?
Second.
And he's
No.
like,
No,
he's-
not a minute. That'd be like 10 rounds.
Less than a
So.
minute, yeah.
I
he's,
thought it was 6 rounds.
he's like, "We have no time, cleric, a cleric, my badge for a cleric," and people are sort of like very confused and they don't know what's going on. Do you want to roll persuasion to try and get hold of someone and like advance the situation?
So
Sure, we'll even do it with advantage.
I will let you do it.
Soon is thinking he'd like half of that dust.
Soon is thinking that he'd like half instead of a third of the reward. So
I mean, you could always barter with Aura when she's alive.
yeah, or it could just go the safe route and take all the money. So you can roll persuasion if you'd like to.
All right.
Yeah, so 12 sides this for that persuade. Alright. You manage with that roll, you managed to find someone who's like he's like, oh, did you kill that angel?
Yep.
He's like,
Crown's been broken.
he says, I have something better than cleric, and he pulls out a weird like neck choker that's got like it's got like 4 prongs and like weird like spindly bendy metal bits that go around the back. And he says, "It'll do." and he hands it to his personal physician, who's like, the cadaver, if you will.
Sure.
He fixes it to the front of her neck, and then pops it, and like the head is pressed to the stump, and you hear a weird sound, like a discordant melody, like nails on a chalkboard, but strings popping and going backwards, and then those three like strands to either side of the choker center interlace and split into like 9 different ones apiece, and they interweave. And do me a favor really quick. Can you roll me all of Aura Dusk's hit dice?
Yeah, let me do that real quick. 1 sec.
I had
I,
2 HP left.
Can I reload my weapons as this is going on?
Yeah.
Speed, initiative.
Wait, I thought you were out of ammo.
Yeah, you made that pretty clear.
No. Oh, I'm out of ammo. You said?
I thought you said that you
You
were out of
said so
ammo for
yourself.
your magical
No,
weapon.
no, no. I meant as in like loaded ammo.
Oh, you meant you were dry.
Yeah. I remember distinctly the first campaign, the first session. You were like, don't worry about ammo. Like,
Yeah.
Ah,
there's the angel ammo that's like, but like special.
Yeah,
But
yeah, okay.
but like
9,
besides that, you said you're a Crownbreaker, you're rich, you don't need to worry about it.
8 plus. So plus 9. That'll be my hit dice.
All right. That's lucky. That's an even, 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 that's an even. 2 odds. Yeah, so
3 odds, but
3 odds?
2
There's
5s and a 7.
5. Still over half. Over half of them are even, right? Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
Ura Dusk jerks to life. But her eyes are vacant, like she's not really there. Meanwhile, somewhere far, a sky, perhaps it's not really clear. Someone is holding a Ura Dusk, flying into the distance. You see a lot of people in the distance. You see the man who trained you. You see other Crownbreakers who have fallen in this long crusade. You feel called. But then you remember, as you see his face, what it looked like to watch him die. And now the question, does Ura Dusk care more for closure or revenge?
Closure with the man who trained me.
Well, it's not clear.
It's ambiguous.
Closure.
All right, make a charisma save.
Or, wait, no, sorry. I was asking. I was just saying closure. Sorry. Give me a sec. Does she care more about closure?
Or revenge. Binary choice.
At this point, having originally started this for revenge and experiencing so much of the world and worlds and the evil of men and the cruelty of angels, and having experienced all of that, even though originally she started off this path on revenge, I think at this point she just wants to see Raphael's job done and an end to the cruel angels that side with law and order rather than decency and humanity.
So ultimate. So like this is a binary choice, but you get the feeling that the path of closure does not lead to destroying those angels. The path of revenge does.
Then it's revenge.
Make that charisma save with advantage. Very lucky you had that advantage. Because you were about to be a vacant corpse. Or a vacant living body. So You snap away. The angel drops you. Everything burns, turns. 7 dimensions, 3 all in one. You fall impossibly far and yet nowhere at all. You were in your body the whole time, as it always was, as it may yet be. And Ura Dusks flutters back to life with 54 HP, and she feels a weird digging at her neck. She's got some sort of weird golden choker on, metal interlaced, and yeah.
She's like, I probably shouldn't take this off yet, should I?
And the physician is like, that would be a most ill-advised idea. You're going to want to have a full consultation about the state of your life before you deal with that.
Whoop-de-doo, you're alive. Yay. Woo.
I mean, someone will say, like, oh, the angel's dead. Harger would be like, yeah, the angel's dead. You guys...
Crown's broken.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, and the other guy is like, thankfully, I just made a lot of money. Normally I would charge for that. Points at the trinket, but now that I am, he looks around smugly, the sole proprietor of the East Harbor Company, I believe I will be having so much money that won't really matter.
Cool.
Okay, well, I guess I shouldn't deal ill with the people that saved me.
Time to get out of this dump.
Yep. You guys head back to the offices?
Yep.
Alright, you are battered, beaten. The beak of Edwin's plague mask is kind of blown out. And you guys return to the offices where where Inspector Cargrew says, Cargrew, Crownbreakers, it's done?
She's gonna
just like
she's gonna be like, I shouldn't do that.
Slump into a chair.
Yeah. He's like, coroner, fix a concoction for our friends. They're badly wounded. And he comes over and he rolls some medicine and he like gives you guys like plus 10 HP if you allow him to if you allow him to tend to you.
Well, I have 2 HP, absolutely.
Yeah, and as he tends to Aurora, he says, "Ah, yes. It's been a long time since I've seen one of these." And he kind of like gently touches one of the cords around her neck. She feels a shiver down her spine as he does so. He's like, "Ah, yes, these are rare augmentations. The gilded ones do not normally share these with outsiders."
Gilded ones. Can you
When you
tell me
break
more about
crown?
this thing that I have?
The coroner is like, "Ah, well, yes, I suppose. Come. I can take you to the West End Library and we can have a conversation."
That might be nice.
Yeah, but basically, things are tied up here, and you guys get 12K. You get 12K. You got 8. You get 8 pouches, 3 modes.
Nice. And
I know how you're gonna play this. So
I'm gonna ask.
I mean, feel free, but you gotta live with what happens when you do. So
I mean, you're at 12 HP, but
Yeah, so I'm gonna ask.
I'm
you gotta worry
joking.
about.
No.
Yeah.
Soon, like, Soon walks up to his fellow Crownbreakers and hands each of them one of the motes and 2 pouches of Angel Dust.
I'm going to ask 12-sided guy. We only got 6 pouches of angel dust then.
I'll just look at I'm sorry, how do you pronounce your character's name?
Soon.
I'll just look at Soon, knowingly.
Can I do an insight check?
I was gonna say, can I give 12-sided guy, Edwin, like a kind of look of like go with it.
He hasn't said anything.
Oh, by
I
the
mean,
way,
I'll roll deception to contest it if you
before all
want.
this actually transpired, I was going to ask
Because you were
12-sided
big
guy,
dead during that.
how did you guys save me? Or why?
I mean,
Ura doesn't see through soon. The changeling is mercurial as ever.
But Edwin.
Yeah. So. Yeah. So
Edwin
you.
didn't say
Yeah,
anything.
so no, but Ura asks Edwin before this happens.
yeah.
How or why did you save me?
How with luck? Why? Ultimately, your blood.
Well, I appreciate it. You can have my you
So
can
it's-
have my my contribution of the money.
No, you keep that.
It's 12K. I was gonna say it's 4K, right?
Yeah, everyone gets 4K.
Cool.
Assuming a three-way split, everyone gets 4K.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
Owen says, and I take it was both of you who saved me then?
Sure.
Silence again from Edwin.
Can I do an insight check on Edwin? Who saved me?
I think when they don't answer, you might.
Yeah, you can't really make an insight check when someone doesn't answer you.
No, I think when they do. No, you can, but I think when they don't answer, you have your answer.
Yeah.
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 She pats Edwin on the back and says thanks.
So yeah, I think that is pretty much the conclusion of the action, and now it's time for feedback phase. Unique questions this time. They are fave, least fave, and what questions should I ask after sessions? Because I'm going to start changing the format and experimenting with new things because I'm not sure that these questions have been the best, but I do like feedback phase.
Ground
And
has been broken.
you guys have, I'm going to give you a quick 15 seconds to think about that so that I'm not jumping on the first person, so everyone has a little thinky think.
Fave, least fave.
Cool.
And Pat.
All right, strange fave, but I liked dying. That was pretty dope. Really brought home that this is a serious conflict, difficult, challenging. That's why they hire Crownbreakers in the first place. Least fave that has nothing to do with you, so I'll give you another least fave. My character doesn't necessarily know how deceptive and insidious Soon is, but I know that I'm going to be able to look
Insidious
up
is
your
a
character.
strong word.
I think she
Insidious is a
suspects.
very strong word.
I think she suspects that she doesn't like that that you're not as decent a person as Edwin. Definitely, she suspects that. But no, she definitely does. I mean,
So, in his defense, Edwin's not really a good person either. It's just he has a particular set of morals.
they've been through more, certainly. But yeah, that was pretty insidious there.
Soon's just around the crown, okay?
Around the crown.
I honestly, I do like it from
It's-
like a total meta point of view.
Yeah, it's an interesting meta plot.
Yeah, no, it's actually interesting. You don't see very many like genuinely deceptive scenarios like that.
Fun
So
fact, because it puts the DM in a very awkward situation.
That is
That's
true.
why.
I mean, look,
You guys have been good about playing it out so far.
I've
Yeah,
been
no, I'm
trying
not
to
gonna
not be
play
a
it.
total asshole.
Yeah.
And I've
Well,
also been
and
doing
I'm
it
not the
only
one-
at the end of sessions.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was least fave that didn't have anything to do with me, and also it was kind of like a cool moment too. So I struggle to say it was a least fave necessarily, but it was interesting, very interesting.
Now, here's the real question: is can you detach your head at will now? Like we have already how that thing works for all I know.
definitely a
Can you just
follow-up question.
juggernaut it? Like,
Am I going to have to redraw my character with this on her because like can't she ever take it off?
Well, that's probably a question you're going to have to ask the Gilded Ones. But who are the Gilded
I
Ones?
really
on
have
the
to
next
redraw my
episode of
character,
Crownbreakers.
So
Find out
Awesome.
next time.
Okay. So least fave that I can actually give you as a feedback. I think the beginning might have been a tiny bit slow, but no. Here, my least fave is that we didn't really know exactly where to go. Like the leads didn't. I feel like you as a DM kind of had to move things along more than maybe usual because the leads didn't like pop, you know. And maybe skipping the pie guy ended up putting you in an awkward position. I don't know, but
all he was going to do was try and sell you hallucinogenic pies.
Yeah, I know there was a little bit of a lull at a certain point before we went to the cathedral. That would be that.
So but you would say it picked up at cathedral.
Sorry. Yeah. At the cathedral, it picked up, and I loved the cathedral scene. Actually, that was really fun, and I liked that we got inspiration or Deus Ex Machina bonuses from that. That was dope.
I also, to add on to that, the like what vicar or whatever he was, like just the voice you used for that, like
testify
could have been really insensitive, but wasn't. So good job.
Oh yeah.
I gotta say, I do love your what's the character in Gag called? Your like Southern Reverend voice.
I may be a humble rural xenobiologist. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's it was a similar accent and I really liked. I like that sort of character you pull out sometimes.
Yeah, Southern preacher.
Yeah. So we did. So what questions should I ask in the future? I actually have no qualms whatsoever with the dislike. I want to see more of. I think that's honestly pretty perfect. But I understand why you would want to split, want to explore and experiment. But I think that those were perfect for their function. So I don't see why you'd need to really differentiate it.
All right. Well, then I believe we're going to continue counterclock for how I see it, and move on to 12-sided guy. Oh shit!
I like Sin Eater.
You liked what?
You like froze up.
The Sin Eater.
You like the Sin Eater? By the way, credit to Pat. She literally was like, "Hey, you want a fucked up angel?" And she just drew it of her own initiative and sent it to me. So like,
Fair enough.
I've had this in my back pocket for a while.
Pretty dope. It looked really good.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep drawing more funky looking angels. I haven't done any other ones since then. But, I've got plans.
Just draw something really weird and outlandish, and force Lee to come up with like stats and stuff.
I mean, look, he's been pretty reliable about doing all the things.
But I want you to draw something like really, really weird that is like super hard to like.
No, actually, you know what's super funny about you saying that? I have a super weird idea, and I wasn't even going to consider trying to make it into a monster or anything. But I'm gonna do it now and give it to Lee, and we'll see what she does with it. It's gonna be interesting.
All right, so 12-sided guy, you like the Sin Eater?
Yes. Least favorite would be, so in a sense, the pie guy. The pie guy himself was okay.
You mean what he's emblematic of?
I didn't quite catch that.
What he's like emblematic of, like a problem with pacing?
Not so much pacing, because the pacing for me was fine. So much as like the potential for derailing the one shot with a red herring like that. Right, because if you present us with a red herring, we don't know it's a red herring. We're like on the wrong side of town. Then you kind of have to railroad us into the fight garden.
Right. To be fair, like he wasn't going to take up too much of your time. Like,
Fair enough.
Like, so I see what you're saying. Like, be careful about red herrings, but I would say like I didn't intend for him to take any longer, and I intended for you to get some of your information that you would have gotten from the chimney sweeps from him. But then I would just like, and there's chimney sweeps children in there, and then you guys kind of latched onto that because I guess it was evocative or whatever, they were there.
That also, by the way, that this wasn't going to be my point, by the way, but that was like very, like you said, evocative of the setting in general. Like I was kind of like thinking like oh, like kind of like New York-ish or something, and then like when you said that, I was like immediately like more like Victorian, like London kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I probably got us in the wrong mindset when I said New York in the very beginning.
Well, no, the map does look like it.
Yeah,
like,
no, I mean, absolutely.
There's no way to deny it. Like,
but sorry, Trollside guy,
right.
we're on his
the
face.
questions are fine. So.
Okay, so questions fine. Questions are fine, and with that,
it's very standard to like large, dislike, you know.
Yeah, dislike, want to see more. It seems pretty perfect to me.
All right,
that's why I didn't think of their minds.
All right, yeah, Rainbow. Favorite question.
Yeah. I definitely think that like what's the word for it? I like that we, how do I describe this? Like we had an NPC with us that wasn't really for combat purposes, because you don't tend to see that a lot. Like an NPC will exist in the world that's not for combat, like a quest giver or like someone who gives you information or something, but they don't tend to like basically become a part of the party, right? Usually when you have NPCs like that, they usually are just like they do combat with you, right? Like I feel like no matter what was gonna happen here, this guy was never gonna fight, even if like if there were like gang members around. Do you think he would have like?
He might have thought if there
were so constables have guns. He might have popped a shot.
Okay.
But he definitely wasn't for that purpose.
It was just an interesting dynamic that was like, you know, it's kind of that like anime trope a little bit, where like, you know, there's always like someone in the stands of the sports show that like knows like super in-depth knowledge for some reason, right? Like, you know, like it's kind of that where like you just kind of have someone with you that has a shit ton of knowledge about this place and about the under like goings on and stuff. So like, it was cool. The thing I didn't like, I was gonna also say the pie guy, because like, I mean, I think with the kind of nature of my character, it was like he's around the crown not to deal with these people's issues. Like,
I like the pie guy. I don't know what you guys are saying.
So like, but like, yeah, I also agree
like
that
the pie guy. It's just the potential for derailing the issue with him.
Yeah, I know. I'm just being silly.
That's like not something that I dislike though. I guess that's not really the right word for it. I just think that it was like unnecessary. Like if we had gone to the arbor or whatever, and he was there, that would have been okay. But the fact that he just like randomly came up to us on the streets, like the super scary looking, fully armed Crownbreakers that could like blow your head off in one shot, like that he just walked up to us and like casually tried to sell us pies.
Well, he was the drug dealer around the corner who like had heard someone talking about him.
True, but like that's like being. Imagine if you are a real life drug dealer and you see like the National Guard walking down the street. You're just gonna like walk up to them and try to sell them.
Well, no, but like he sells them to gangsters, and you kind of look like gangsters. Because
we look like gangsters to them or Crownbreakers.
Well, here's the thing: this kid probably doesn't know exactly what a Crownbreaker is. He's probably
okay, fair enough, but like, I feel like he was much too like.
Hey, what am I?
Yeah, hey, civil servant, would you like to buy some drugs? Oh, by the way, please don't blow my head off.
So your cop was disguised at the time. He would not have approached with his cop gear on.
I understand.
He's literally the guy from the cantina scene. I
literally have like 4 guns strapped to my chest.
Yeah, no, death sticks. Yeah,
five guns, and 3 of them glow in various colors. Like,
he's literally the death sticks guy. Like, come on, how can you hate?
Yeah, that guy goes home to rethink his life and becomes a warlord. But yeah,
I'll defend the character. I'll defend the NPC in saying that 1, he was probably high. And 2, Edwin most certainly does look like some sort of game. Like, I don't know if you've seen his picture, but
I'm pretty sure my character looks looks a little bit like a gangster, a female gangster. Oh, she was in boy mode too, and she looked like a ye old white hunter archetype. Actually, here, this is what she looks like.
Hey.
Anyways, I didn't hate it. I just thought that like I don't know, maybe if we had sought it out, it would have been better.
It felt a little forced.
Yeah, a little bit.
Felt a bit forced.
Anyways,
new question, or are you gonna say the same thing everyone
no,
else did?
I was gonna say I like because I never said I like.
Oh. Yeah,
Oh no, I did. What am I saying? Yeah, I totally did.
you can give me more though.
Well, I was gonna say that I liked that like what's the word for that? Like once we got, it's kind of a pacing thing where like once we got on the like very close to the trail kind of thing, it wasn't like, oh, you're getting super close, okay, now here's a little like thing to slow you down a little bit, and then hey, then you get to the angel. Like it was like once we got on the trail, like we were just on it and it happened, like, which I thought was good because like I hate when you're just like really close to the thing you're trying to do and then like something else bogs you down and then something like, even though like, and the thing was it wasn't our doing that did that, like you basically just was like the constable was like,
yeah,
oh, eureka, I've solved it kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
Which some could say is like super hand holding, but I think it was good because it just like you basically said like as a DM like, okay, they figured it out, they're just not like they just like, I don't want them to like sit here and think about it for a couple minutes. Like you got the information, you did the thing, now go do the thing. Like
Yeah.
And then for questions, I think the questions are okay. I would just leave like time for each person to just do what I'm doing now and just say whatever they want. Like
Which yeah.
Which I do anyways, like, and you tend to just let happen anyways, so
Yeah, I mean I do like I would only ask, I sometimes ask like any other questions. Speaking of which, does anybody else has any other comments they'd like to make or observations?
Observation.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got some like in character after game stuff I want to take care of, but
Oh,
I mean,
hell yeah,
well,
you are,
I'm here.
obviously.
Yeah, week to week stuff.
We gotta talk.
Yeah.
Alright, sounds good to Lee. How would you guys compare this setting to some of the others? Because I know that we've done city settings before.
this was good. I think
Yeah.
As a player, I would like to have seen more. As a character, he's hanging around. He's like, I have so much exploring to do. I'm gonna be here for like a week.
I was gonna say
too because of the whole...
I think like
Because now he wants a gun.
oh, you want a gun now? You trying to be me? No, I'm just kidding. But really quick, I think in some of the other settings, one of the things that is always important in D&D to me for setting is like technology level, and I think I didn't quite grasp that at first, like the technology level of this area.
Okay, yeah. So you
Because
were...
like the first one we ever did, like with the like
Master Ridge. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
like straight up.
it was like
you knew
very
immediately
obviously
it was
like
medieval.
okay, low tech, like medieval, like high fantasy, like
They didn't
I
know what your
got it
guns
immediately.
did when they saw them. They were like, What's
yeah,
that?
exactly, yeah. Where like here, like there's police officers, it's kind of like Victorian, but I wasn't quite sure if like they had like cars or not, or like what's going on, or, like anything like that. So
Yeah, I mean, yeah, so I guess it could have been technically fleshed out a little bit more, but I think it was nice.
just like one little subtle comment at the beginning, like that just says like, oh, you know, like you hear the sounds of like car horns in the distance
Or
or something like
steampunk
that.
noises. Yeah.
Well, the speedboat was
Yeah,
that,
but
like, at that point, I had already gotten it.
yeah, I think
Yeah.
but I think Rainbow says like if you had spotted a motor gondola earlier.
That would have been perfect. Literally, if we had come into the city on a motor gondola, that would have been perfect.
I didn't exactly.
It would have been
I
the
didn't
Dishonored
notice-
insert, yeah.
Yeah, also true. Like, yeah,
Which is basically what
I
you
didn't
did.
notice what we were doing, but-
yeah. It was very Dishonored. Like I was gonna say that the setting felt, which was really cool. I love the Dishonored.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love me some whale punk. Yeah, sure. Does anybody else have anything else that they'd like to say?
I mean,
Pretty good.
Joy and I Discord. Check us out on Twitter.
Oh yeah. Follow me on Twitter.
Here's the Discord link.
Well,
Oh, you want me to link my Twitter?
Yeah, drop them links.
I did a little bit of the art, not all of it, but if you guys are interested in commissions, I'm trying to show something better. That one's literally a scribble I made in 10 seconds. Here, this is what I've been working on during the that's my character now. Yeah, there you go. So if anybody watching is interested in commissions, my Twitter is SpiderQueenLong. That's Spider_Long. I also have a DeviantArt under the same name, SpiderQueenLong. I also have a fur affinity under the same name, SpiderQueenLong. But, if you're interested in that sort of thing, I mostly do fantasy art right now. So, HMU.
Yay! Of course, SilkyNoire as always. 108 terrible character portraits, as both listed in the description for YouTube videos and Twitch, so you can see them. Thank you all for coming. Yeah, and this Thursday is GAG. This weekend I'm out of town, but next weekend, the weekend after next, I should say, we're gonna have another horror one-shot in Wistmore. Ooh, but it's gonna be vampiric, and I'm gonna be the DM.
Yeah,
Spooky.
because I can't stay on time. Just kidding. It's because we planned this.
Yeah.
But and the weekend after that, so 3 weekends from now, I'll be back
doing planned.
and I think we have something else going on too, right, Lee? Or are we not streaming?
I don't know that we're streaming the Stars Without Number game, but we'll find out.
I missed out.
No, it's all good. Thank you all for coming, and we're gonna sign off now. 3 hours and 40 minutes in. This is pretty good for Groundbreakers End.
I was gonna say, this is we finished almost perfectly on time.
Yeah,
That was
I'm clicking end stream.